Good evening. I'd like to call the Monday, May 11th, 2026 Town Planning and Zoning Committee meeting to order.
All right. Have Robert Canto
Here.
Philip Cordero
Here.
Joshua Davidson
Here.
David
Saint
Germain,
Yes, that's me.
Liz Sanford,
Here.
Peter Sarella,
He is absent.
Liz Fagan, oh sorry, Lisa Fagan,
Here.
Robert Ingerson,
Oh, here.
and Taylor Pogson. All right, Chair, all set.
Okay, let's start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join us. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so welcome. It is Monday, May 11th. We're glad you could join us. Before we get to reading the public notice, I do need to, because one of our regular members is absent, Lisa, will you be able to step in as a voting member tonight?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Dave, if you could read the public notice.
Sure. Notice is hereby given that the Town Plan and Zoning Commission will hold a hybrid public hearing on May 11th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall Annex, Council Chambers, 1 Monteith Drive on the following application. Robert Carley, Staubach Architects, application for special permit and site plan approval for an expanded home in excess of 30% expansion and an excess of 1,600 square foot living area for addition at 27 Oakland Avenue in an R7 OG zone. Interested parties are encouraged to participate in this hybrid public hearing. Participation in person is at 1 Monteith Drive, Town Hall Annex, Town Council Chambers, or online participation is via the link in the meeting on the the Town of Farmington's website. A copy of this proposal is also online, or it can be had by calling the Planning Department at Farmington Town Hall at 860-675-2325, dated Farmington, Connecticut, this 23rd day of April, 2026.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let's begin with new business. Carol's Lunchbox.
Madam Chair,
Oh,
hang on.
excuse me.
Before we get to new business, can I bring in a point of order?
Yes.
I would recommend, or I'm proposing that Commissioner Davidson recuse himself from tonight's meeting and anything on the agenda, based on filings that were going on and postings and all that. So I appreciate it if he recused himself from tonight's meeting.
Okay. And may I just ask a question for
Absolutely.
further details? There's postings on social media? Is
Correct.
that-
Of inter-office agenda memorandums and things that I don't believe were pertinent to the public. They were in-house meeting minutes and memorandums to the commission. And I feel we're going into it with a biased opinion.
May I ask for your response, Commissioner Davidson?
I will not recuse myself. I posted only public information. Nothing that I posted was not posted on the Town of Farmington
Yes, it was.
website.
Yes, it was. Memorandum that came to us today with items to consider are not public knowledge, and those are posted on.
Are you referring to the agenda review?
No, not the agenda review, the items to consider.
I don't know what you're referring to. The items to consider that I see are included in the agenda review.
Okay.
Correct. Not to the public, to us.
Okay. Mr. Seer, and this is a point of order. I think that we should maybe continue this discussion in an executive session type situation, or I guess our in-house expert on Robert's Rules of Order, Commissioner Zarella, is not here today. So I'm just wondering if this is appropriate to continue the discussion in public, or
I don't I don't see a concern with it, discussion
don't?
out in
Okay.
front, no. I mean, I guess the question is, what, if I could just find out which items exactly, and then I'll let you know that if they were public documents or not.
That's
Which one's the agenda review?
The agenda review.
Now, that gets posted on the website. So that,
Agenda review with items to consider.
that usually is,
It was
that's,
not on there this week.
it wasn't on there this week?
Correct. That's why I'm
All
bringing
right,
it up.
let me
If it
double,
was open to the public, then I would have,
bear with you, okay?
I would have a
let's-
less concern here.
I do have
Get you.
that, access to that online from,
You can,
on the public website.
you can all pull it up on our web, right here. It's right there.
On the town one?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay.
You
I
can
didn't,
come
I
on.
didn't have it on mine. I didn't have it on mine at home. That's why I'm,
I don't know what to tell you.
Departments.
so if you go to the departments, that's where I went.
Applications. For agenda review.
It does.
Yeah.
It does actually excuse me, include the items to consider. That is a part of the,
Right, but they weren't opening, and that's why I was,
oh,
Oh, down here. Where is it?
yeah, see, it's not, it's.
All right,
It's
no,
n-
right here. Nope, sorry, I guess I don't go to I don't use it that often. We just load
Okay.
everything up and check it, but this was documented, it was on the website.
Okay,
So items to.
there you go. Okay,
On
all
there.
right, then that's fine. I apologize, but it wasn't opening on mine at home.
Okay.
And I'm like, we're looking at this almost from a biased perspective. If we're not gonna put it out and the town doesn't have access to it, and we only have access to it, you follow me? So, and since you're running that page, it kind of puts you in the light of you're coming into it on one way. So, but if it's open to the
So-
public, that's fine.
Mhm.
That's
So Madam
totally
Chair, if I
fine.
just may make one statement briefly and then
Mhm.
just for the record, so I have an interest in promoting transparency in the planning and zoning process. And I believe there's more that we as a commission and as a town can do to not just be transparent, but to push that information out to people, to make it easier for them to get. Just because something is available on a website and in some arcane kind of hierarchy that is very difficult for the average resident of Farmington to find, does not make something easy to be known. And so I'm trying to post information, unbiased, publicly available information with no opinions whatsoever, literally just reciting what's going on, and in some cases describing the process to educate residents so that they can choose to be informed and choose to be involved and provide input if they so choose to do so. That is my only purpose in doing so. And that is the only thing that I have done since I've been a commissioner.
And I can appreciate that, but as a moderator for the page, we don't know if anybody's being censored or not.
I'm not going to even get into it.
Correct, exactly, and I don't expect you to, but that's where I was coming from.
I'll just say
when this
the
came up.
Attorney DiCrescenzo's comments in our initial training at the beginning of the year, where he said that it is absolutely proper for this type of social media posting to inform people about the agenda and about items before it. And obviously not to express any opinions, not to coordinate with anyone. Anything I posted was public information.
Just one, when you post, do you post like all the agenda or just specific things?
I don't think this is an appropriate place to discuss that at this point. I'm not recusing myself.
Okay,
I mean, unless
All right.
if the chair wants to go deeper in this.
no, that's,
but
no, I just wondered,
move
that's all.
forward.
I
I'm Happy to talk
sense-
with you, Rob, afterwards.
Yeah, that's fine, no, that's,
I
yeah,
really am happy.
okay.
Okay. I sense it was just a curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is why we're in a public forum. We're trying to, everyone get the clearest answers we can get. So, okay. Thank you. So now, we're going to start with new business and Carol's lunchbox, and our applicant, please come up, state your name and address, and
Good evening. My name is Carol Willis. I'm the owner of Carol's Lunchbox at 14 Westwoods Drive, Farmington. I'm here tonight to request the approval of entertainment at my restaurant. I already have an existing liquor license. I want to add entertainment to it. My operating hours right now are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7:30. Fridays, 11 I'm sorry, Saturdays 11 to 5:30 and Sunday 7 a.m. to 5:30. We are looking to do karaoke. Actually, it will be called karaoke at the restaurant on Saturday nights from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It would be indoors. There would be, I would use my sound system. I would not be using the house system. I'm also looking to do or have acoustic music outside on the patio as well as under the tent on the weekends only, weather permitting. And also thinking about trivia night later in the season, maybe October or November in the evening, one night, possibly a Thursday night, uncertain when the leagues end. It would be after the leagues end, near the end of the season, probably October and November. I think karaoke will increase my business as well as introduce new faces to that area, to the complex, not only my restaurant, but to golf and to pickleball and whatnot. And that's about it. Any questions?
Okay, well, now it's our turn to ask the questions. I'm going to start with Commissioner Canto.
Hi, Carol. It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time.
I think it's a great idea. Bring some more, generate some more interest into that area. I'm going to hold off on questions for right now. I have a couple that I'm thinking of, but come back to me.
Okay, Commissioner Cordero.
I only had one question when I read through this, and that was just to clarify that when you are doing acoustic outdoors, there's no amplification. It is just,
There's no amplification.
okay. That's my only question. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Davis.
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
I think it's a great idea. My only concerns are just around potential for noise and the potential impact it may have to surrounding neighbors. Looks like they're quite a ways away, but certain things could still carry. And so I just had a few questions related to noise and hours, I think, that are really my only concerns. So first thing, on the form for the state of Connecticut that you have to fill out as a liquor license holder to have entertainment, there was also a box checked for, I believe it was live concerts, maybe is the verbiage of the form. I just wanted to confirm that when you talk about live concerts, what does that mean? Or
I don't remember seeing live concerts.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with karaoke, but
I am.
you are. Okay. So
It's okay.
yeah,
I'm not
it's,
trying to it's not like a gotcha.
no,
question.
that's,
Just
yeah.
so when you say acoustic music outside, do you mean like a single acoustic guitar player?
that's
Or
what I
would
was
that-
thinking.
would
Yes.
could that include horns or drums without amplification? Could be quite different than like a single,
I
person
wouldn't,
strumming
I would
guitar.
say not drums, maybe horns. I'm thinking of guitar players, actually. I have two in mind. But I didn't even think about horns or drums because I don't know anyone who does that, quite honestly.
Would you be willing to limit this request to just acoustic guitars for the time being, or at least for if
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
and I certainly, if this proves to be a non-issue and you come back with a proposal where noise is an issue, open to future changes personally. But that would be my only request. And then the only other question I have would be, I'm not that familiar with the building. I've seen some pictures and whatnot, but while the karaoke and the music might occur indoors, and you might use like trivia, you have would again also be indoors, right?
Yes, that time of year would be indoors.
When you say indoors, would that also mean that windows and doors of the building would remain closed? And because it seems like you have a patio, and I didn't want it to be like an indoor outdoor thing where sure the speaker is like technically indoors, but the music is carrying.
So you're asking if I would have a window open during karaoke?
Yeah, or during any of these events, any entertainment events, would you keep the doors and windows closed?
I guess you would have to tell me that. I didn't even think about that, about
Again,
opening or closing a window.
my only concern is again, just the potential for that noise to carry to homes. And, you know, as someone who lives a mile from Farmington High School, I can hear every time classes change all day. I can hear announcements from the field. It's an hour and I'm a mile away. And it's fine, but like it's and there's people who live obviously closer than that. And so I think I just want to step into this in a way that we're careful and respectful of people's right to their enjoyment of quiet and peace at their own properties. So that's where I just have some, you know, I would love to see you expand this, but I think those would be my requests, I guess, would be if you would be.
So are you requesting that I leave all windows closed during karaoke?
During any entertainment event,
Mhm.
that you would keep doors and windows closed. I mean, doors to be able to like enter and exit, but not to be propped open, essentially.
Okay.
Because then the difference between indoor outdoor to me kind of goes away, and that the acoustic at least initially be limited to guitar playing.
Mhm.
That's and others can weigh in as well. That's my requests. Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all.
Okay, Commissioner St. Germain.
Yeah, a few things. So are you actually, did we, I remember this coming through here before when you're moving to the new spot. And, did we talk about hours at that point? Were they kind of set?
No,
Okay.
karaoke would only be on Saturday night.
No, I meant your operation hours. Have we talked about that?
Oh.
When we originally went with the original application, were those set?
Yes, and then as the season progresses, the hours change. Right now, when we first opened the first month, we closed at 5:30 every night until the league started. Once the league start, we stay till 7:30. Saturdays, we were staying till 5, now we're staying till 5:30. So they will probably change again early fall because the leagues end and we just don't need to stay open till 7:30.
But it sounds like you're asking to be open till 9 for some of these events.
For Saturday night karaoke only.
Okay. And do you foresee needing any kind of outdoor lighting for any of this?
No,
No changes in that.
I mean, there is outdoor lighting. You know, it's always on outside around the patio area, but I don't need additional lighting. It being indoors.
Yeah, I don't have anything else right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Fink.
Hi, Carol.
Hi.
I think it's a lovely idea. I think I'm just on board too, a little bit unaware of the sound buffering that exists and if it's at all going to pose any kind of noise to neighbors. So I would have to leave that to, you know, neighbors' complaints.
Right, right.
Or what's proposed and then what you guys agree on. But I think it's pretty low risk.
And
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Just a couple things. You said acoustic music outdoors on the patio on Saturdays. Is that going to be the hours 6 to 9?
No, would be
Like,
in the early afternoon hours.
Okay.
Well, I'm thinking Saturday or Sunday for acoustic outside.
you're
So if
talking
we do,
afternoon hours, not,
yes, I'd say 12 to 2, 1 to 3. If that even happens, I mean, I'm thinking about acoustic. I have a few people in mind, but that may not even happen.
okay. And then for those acoustic nights,
Days.
days, are there going to be a speaker, like he's going to talk into a microphone or sing into a microphone?
Yes. I don't know. Some do, some don't.
If there are speakers, are they going to be positioned to go towards the first fairway, away from the Coke Farms area?
Well, quite honestly, I haven't given it thought where the speakers are going to be or where they're, I mean, that's kind of up to the performer where they want to put the speakers. So I haven't given it much thought. If you tell me that they have to be positioned a certain way, then
The
I
only
would do
reason
that,
asked
but
is there's a lot-
I never had a higher acoustic performer before.
Yeah,
So
no,
this is all very new to me.
The only reason I asked is there's a buffer zone in between First Fairway and houses, like a
Mhm.
wood line. And that might help if there is noise. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then just the other thing, to piggyback on like what Josh said, looking at your application, it does say live bands on it.
Yeah, I think we might have did that because it
Yeah.
just kind of covered everything.
All right.
I think, did it say bands?
Yeah, it says live bands, acoustics, not amplified, and karaoke.
Yeah, no. I think that's when we were thinking about having it outside, entertainment. But when we realized it had to be indoors, there's no way we could put a band inside.
Yeah, okay,
It's just too small.
okay, nothing further.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you for your presentation. You speak of a tent. Where is the tent?
Well, it's not there yet, but I believe it's being put up in a couple weeks.
Okay. So is it a seasonal thing that the course puts up?
Well, it used to be, all the events used to be held under the pavilion, but they're now using the pavilion for their golf carts.
Okay.
So they need to put up a tent for private events. They have picnic tables under the pavilion. They're going to do the same thing under the tent. I don't know what they have planned under the tent, but I figured I could maybe do if I had we were going to think about doing some like wine lunches or wine dinners, beer dinners. We could have them under the tent, and maybe we could have an acoustic guitar player.
Okay.
I don't know what the town is planning on doing
Okay.
under the tent, but I'm sure they have things planned.
I assume so. And Bruce, you're doing just what I was hoping you were going to do, which is pull up the aerial just to get a view.
Small.
While Bruce is pulling it up, Carol, just for clarification, because I'm kind of on board with you. The town puts up the tent, right? You guys
Yes.
aren't putting that up.
Yeah, it's the
That's what I
first year they're putting it up because they've always used the,
Yeah, that's what okay. Yeah, I thought so.
No, this is an old map because it doesn't have
Almost-
pickleball courts.
I know, or the splash
I'm
pad.
assuming it's probably in the
Splash
back
pad.
there, right?
What's that? Yeah,
It's
this
probably gonna be
it's
in the
right in
back.
front of my front door, going into the restaurant. It's right there.
So
That's
like
where
on
it's
the
going to
side-
be.
So like on the side where that cursor is near the cars,
Let me zoom in now.
Yeah, zoom
like
on.
right there,
Where's my front door that you walk in?
that side door is right there
Right, yeah.
that you walk.
Okay, it's directly in front,
So towards the, like in the parking area, parking lot.
right,
You're talking about the
right in
tent?
front of the.
Yeah, the tent. Do you know where
It's,
that's
it's
going?
all
Bruce?
grass.
Hey, Bruce, if you're able to pull up Apple Maps, they actually have a much more current aerial.
Yeah, I've got the near maps. I use near maps as well, but I'm
Okay.
just trying to
We can look
do
around.
something quick.
Okay,
Apple
sorry,
Maps already has it in.
So the tent
Yeah.
you're saying is going,
They've-
here's the pavilion.
not the tent, but the.
Oh, yeah, there's the
Pickleball.
pavilion. So it's probably going to
Here's the
go.
pavilion. So is the tent right here in between?
Yes, on green grass.
Right here. Okay.
Yeah.
By the parking lot?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so that's good to know. And this is something that you might or might not know. Leagues run, they start in, say, April, May, and run through course availability kind of into the fall.
Usually into late September, early October.
Okay,
There's maybe one or two leagues that goes a little longer than that. Majority of them are over by the first week of October.
I would think so. Days are getting shorter. It's getting colder,
Mhm.
harder to hold a metal club in your hands. So, okay. Now, let me just see. One other question about the tent. And I don't know if if the town is, or someone has approached you to say, hey, we rented it from the town, and can you cater a 50th birthday party or something. Is that a part of it?
Oh,
or
yeah, we did a few parties last year and they were under the pavilion.
Under the pavilion,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so that's part. Okay, but that would be a separate thing and then they would have to, I guess they would have to get the music if.
Yeah, I've never, the parties that we have done last year, they didn't have music.
They did.
But I know they've had music there before. They've had weddings there before,
Okay,
under the pavilion.
under the pavilion, okay.
Not since I've been there.
Well, I'm sorry.
Not since I've been, there,
since you've been-
have I seen any type of entertainment.
Okay. Okay, I think that answers my question. Does anybody, Bobby, you had wanted me to swing back?
Yeah, I just have a couple, just clarification. Actually, Josh touched on it, which was perfect. The acoustic guitars instead of the horns and all that. I totally agree. You have in here acoustic music at and at close. You had already said it's going to be more of a daytime thing, not really a nighttime thing.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, we close on Saturdays and Sundays at 5:30, so nothing would be after 5:30 because that's when we close. I'm thinking more, like I said, 1 to 3 or 2 to 4.
Okay. All right. And then the private events, Liz, you had already just touched on that too. Private events, if you decide to do the private event, cigar dinner or whatever, non-amplified, it's going to be all acoustic.
Yeah, I think I was told, I'm pretty sure I was told that whoever's having the party will need to talk to the town about entertainment. Like it wouldn't include me, like I wouldn't make
But
that
like if you
decision.
decide to do like a cigar dinner or fundraiser or whatever,
Mhm.
it's going to be non-amplified. You're not going to have amplification out there.
No, that's never happened. I guess if that came up, they would have to go to the town and try to get that permit themselves. I'm very aware that I cannot have music outside.
That's
So
what,
I don't think it,
that's what I'm trying to get to.
yeah,
Yes.
I can't have it.
Okay.
So I don't know
Right.
what it entails when you book a party.
No, but
a
if
wedding
you're
or-
hosting it, then
Yeah, if I'm hosting it, no.
perfect.
I would
Mhm.
be just catering the food and supplying the alcohol.
And then when you say you're closing at 9, is that lights off at 9 or is that last call at 9 and then everybody starts winding down?
Everyone starts winding down, yeah. Karaoke show would be 6 to 9, 3 hours.
Okay.
It really can't be less than 3 hours.
Right.
We figure 4 minutes a song
Song.
per singer. If we had to be out of the building, the property by 9, it wouldn't be worth having karaoke.
Okay.
It's just not enough time.
All right. And then just one more quick thing. With the splash pad being open now a little bit later, is your kitchen going to be open later also? Are you planning on that?
I don't know the hours of the splash pad.
I believe it's going to be till 7 p.m.
Okay, well, we close 7:30.
Right.
So
but are you planning on, okay, I'm hoping some people come over, or are you really?
Oh, yeah, of course. I would never want to turn away business.
Right.
Yeah, I will say, usually kids are not that late anyway, so I don't know how that's going to go. I don't want to extend my hours until I know it's going to be worth advertising to stay open.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm good.
Okay. Anybody else, any other questions come up? Okay,
Bruce, would you mind zooming out a little bit so I can see, like, where are the nearest houses from here?
You've got houses right here. Okay, this is Brookshire here. You've got Inwood down in here. And this is Peggy Lane, Harold Case over here on the south side. And then on the north, you've got Cope Farms right around here. So
There's some on the east too.
Yeah.
Across.
Across the street, there's that
Yep, this is gonna take on one at a time.
Yes.
Greenwood
there's-
or whatever. it's
Cope Farms is roughly 1,300 feet away.
Okay.
Brookshire. It's 800. And houses across the street. About 1,000.
Thank you.
Okay. So if we've had our questions answered, there is actually one other, oh, Phil had it.
I had a couple more, sorry.
No, that's why we,
So is there regularly, I don't know who might know the answer to this, any entertainment at Westwood? Sort of be similar to nature to this?
I don't think, I'm not sure, I've not gone there often.
The town's putting up a
We have
tent,
someone
you know,
who's
are
there.
they planning on
Right.
having bands or some functions at night there that
Uh,
we don't know about?
I think we are all in the dark and you are not familiar at
Yeah,
all.
I'm not aware of what they're gonna be putting under that tent.
I think they
If I
just,
remember correctly from the last application they put in, the reason they're doing the tent is because they took the pavilion away for the carts.
Mhm.
Right.
So now they have no outdoor dining like that's covered.
Right.
So that's why they're putting up one of those temporary tents, is because they took the pavilion for the carts.
But I don't think we discussed the tent at the time.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I know of is like if they have a golf tournament, sometimes
Right,
after it, they have cookout and,
right.
but I can't remember playing a golf tournament there and having entertainment after, just,
Food and-
yeah, food and drink.
Okay,
So my last question was, is there a public hearing scheduled for this? Because it kind of feels like we need to hear the neighbors weigh in on this.
Well, it sounded like we had the option to provide,
Right.
to determine whether or not we need a public hearing.
it is our right as commissioners that if we would like to investigate this further and have the neighbors get a chance to come and weigh in, we could definitely do that. I guess we can take a straw poll. What do we feel, commissioners? Do we think?
Could I ask a question before we
Certainly.
take your poll? And it really is a question for Carol, is to some degree is like, hypothetically, would you rather have us go to a public hearing and come back on a future date and we discuss this and public can come and make comments as well? Or would you be more comfortable sort of with perhaps more limitations and maybe a more limited time and scope, maybe limited hours? I'm not saying anything's decided, but that could be the other option. Do you have a preference? If you had your way, I don't know, just thought I'd get your input before we.
well, I have 25 Saturdays left for the season. And clearly I'm not going to have, I'm not asking for 25 karaoke shows. I'm thinking 8 to 10, tops 10, closer to 8, maybe not even 8. So do I want to drag this out longer? Because I know that will take time. There's no question. No, I don't want to.
And does the building have air conditioning?
They just put a whole new system in.
Okay, because I didn't know if that was like an issue with the windows we were talking earlier. Thanks.
Good point. Okay. Okay, so commissioners, what do we think? What do we feel?
Wouldn't want to,
Are we close? Oh, there's no public comment, so it's just.
Yeah, I guess I
This
don't
is,
want to,
it's still new, it's under new business.
Right, so it's under new business.
my initial opinion is I don't want to restrict her and how she can run the business unless it's necessary. So
Agreed.
I don't feel we have a good understanding whether it's necessary or not. And I
Okay,
think the public weighing in would kind of help put that to bed. So
okay,
that's where I'm at.
And we have a noise ordinance till 9 o'clock at night, which
Right.
is not going past that. So,
very true.
It is
Mhm.
covered by
you know,
enforcement as well.
and the closest is 800 feet away.
Mhm.
If we were to have a public hearing, when would that be?
June 8th,
You're cut,
so essentially,
I would have to be here. I'm going to be in Poland.
oh,
so June 8th, that cuts into your Saturdays too, correct? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh,
Well, I have a partner. My nephew, Michael Willis, is my partner in the business. I mean, he could be here. I would not be available on that date.
My thinking is I still feel things are a little vague. Like I don't have, you got numbers like between this and this. You're not, you talked about they would be acoustic, but then you talked about microphone and a speaker. So I'd love to see it more. I still don't know what I'm voting on then. I vote
Yeah,
yes.
and again, it being my first time hiring entertainment, I mean, I'm usually the entertainer. I've been hosting karaoke shows for 38 years in the Valley, so I'm not used to, hiring people. It's hard for me to tell you until I hire an acoustic or start going out and trying to find entertainers and just see how they set up their equipment. And I don't know if I could answer those questions, quite honestly.
So
You hire acoustic singer,
Go ahead.
guitarist, they come up,
Yeah.
they show up with their guitar, basically.
I've been to places where they have an acoustic guy on a Sunday. And it's basically, he's there with a guitar and one speaker.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's it. It's just usually one speaker. If you get into a band, then it gets a little bit more. But it's usually, like one or two speakers and it's an acoustic guitar.
I mean, I guess it seems like a couple things that I've heard from you, Carol, is one, karaoke is you, I didn't know you had all this experience with karaoke. So it sounds like that's your wheelhouse. So that's your maybe priority, and getting it going quickly is important to you. Is that?
Well, no, it's
No?
just
Okay.
important to get it. I mean, this is my second season. I thought about this last year, but I thought about it too late in the season. I said, let's
Sure.
do it this season and have it for late spring into summer. This is my wheelhouse. I've been doing it for 36 years. I'm a pretty seasoned KJ. And I feel great following, great singers, but I'm more interested in getting new people to Westwoods, because I can tell you people that live in Farmington that don't know Westwoods is there. And that's what I want to do. I want to see new faces. And
And I think that's, I'm sorry.
no, that's it. I want to bring new people in and I don't know, try to get, and more business for me, of course. I mean, we're all in it to make money is the bottom line. And it's to bring more people there. And it's for everyone. It's for families. It's not just for adults. It's for kids. I mean, I have 100,000 songs to choose from to sing. I just think it's great for that complex. And the hours are great, 6 to 9. It's not real late.
Chair, if you don't mind. If you
Yes.
don't-
So-
There are comments, and I think I think the commissioners have seen it. We have done in the past where we have allowed a 1-year trial
That's
to
what
see how that works.
Yeah.
It is a town facility.
Mhm.
So I think it's not like we're giving it to JD's bar where we don't have any control over them. So if it does become an issue, then I think we have a little more control over Carol, and we could say, hey, Carol, you know what? The acoustic is fine, but the singing with the microphone is just too loud, or you got to turn it down, or it's just acoustic singing and guitar. We're working that out with her during the process to help to try to appease everybody. And I think we'll find out the first few weeks if it's an issue or not. So that's just, it's just a thought of mine.
Direction, definitely.
Just-
So,
One more question, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, but it kind of like might help. How many tournaments do they run there a year? You have any idea? Dozen, 2 dozen?
I don't think 2 dozen.
Okay.
I'm going to say maybe a dozen.
All right, so a dozen.
Maybe not even a dozen.
But
I don't think so.
how many golfers do they normally run in like their league night? Okay.
Mhm.
If at the end of the year banquet or whatever, how many people do they have there? 50, 60, 70?
What do you mean by at the end of the year?
Like, do they give awards and all that?
No.
Oh, they don't. So they really don't have any. I'm just trying to think
There's
like
one
gauge
gentleman who
the
has a-
noise. And if we've had any complaints with, because let's face it, I'm a golfer. I know what happens at the end of a tournament. We're all hooting and hollering and looking to get out of there. So I'm trying to gauge if we've had any complaints, and we can kind of associate the acoustic to that.
Yeah, they don't do anything like, the leagues don't do any end of the year parties. And there was one very big golf tournament. We had to close our restaurant for it in July. I don't know the gentleman who did it, but he's done it every year. And though he didn't have entertainment, but there were a lot of people there,
Did we have any complaints?
but there was no music.
No, I ran a report, or I had the police department run a report for the last year, and there's been no complaints of noise.
Okay.
Well, we could go I think a 1 year and then a reeval is probably the way to go. And as Bruce brought up, town-owned facility, have some control. We can revisit this next year. And if it was going great guns, then you can come back and say, yes, please.
Mhm.
And if it wasn't, you'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. Thanks.
Right.
I tried it."
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
what do my fellow commissioners think?
I'm good with that. Yep.
Okay, do we want to put in the one acoustic only outdoors?
Yeah,
Limitation.
Oh, yeah.
yes, right. I like the 1 year, but I want to, because like what Dave said, it's like, we don't really know exactly what we're approving in terms of
Right.
hours or scope of music or events. So given that we don't have a proposal specific enough that maybe we want, we should make our own, I guess. Is that
Mhm. That's
something is better than nothing?
right.
Carol will get to try some things out. Westwoods gets some more people, more revenue. Great, you know.
So acoustic is one person, one speaker, or what is that the definition of it?
I guess I thought acoustic meant no speakers. That's.
But can it be three people?
I would just say one,
Speaker?
limited to one.
Oh, no
and
speaker is
string.
your-
Personally, I would say one person string, strings only.
No bagpipe.
I mean,
Accordion.
But are
I
we,
kind of agree.
so-
with you. I wouldn't have a problem with the strings only, but if they have a singer, a guy playing guitar and a singer, so I don't want to limit it to one person, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
But I agree with you with the no horns.
I mean, for the
bagpipes.
first year, you only get people who sing and play the guitar. I don't know.
We can't also hamstring. this
Right.
this.
That's fine.
Right.
As long as there's no honestly, you can have 3 people if there's no speaker. in
Right.
my mind. Like,
are we still allowing the karaoke?
I would inside.
I don't have a problem
Okay.
inside.
Yeah, inside, yeah, that's what, because I thought you had said something just acoustic night.
How many people? fit inside?
Outside.
36
36
Okay.
seats.
seats. And then some statement, like what's the capacity?
I don't know what the capacity is.
The fire department's never gonna tell you. And there's plenty of parking. I know that, because that's always an issue when we talk about things. There's plenty of parking there. So that shouldn't be. Okay.
Chair,
So-
if,
And for karaoke, the hours will not change. It will be 6 to 9.
That's. Okay. Yes.
if we do acoustic, if that is a condition, I would just like, if the commission could just clarify acoustic. So that everyone's on the same page of what that means. Does that mean a amplified microphone? Is it just no amplified music nor voice or anything? That's, I just want to make sure, so we get the motion
Get it.
perfect. So,
Okay, I think that's appropriate. Okay, so now comes the crafting, the wordsmithing. Who can come up, we need, if we feel comfortable that we've moved, we can make, I need a motion and a second in order to vote on this.
Well, we could
So-
do a motion just as presented after this. I think if we lay out right now all the parameters, then we can say as presented. So these are the parameters. We don't have to include them in the.
Is that
No
correct,
motion.
Bruce? And or Lance?
sorry, what was that? I apologize.
So can we, if we were right now just come up with a list of parameters,
Mhm.
we don't necessarily have to include them in the
Motion.
actual motion.
Yes, they should be.
as presented.
And I would.
They
put that
should.
In their award letter, their
Yeah.
letter after,
Right.
so we'll
Uh,
know exactly what their conditions are.
And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of different dates and times getting punched around here that I don't know if we just said if we ever had to go back to this, we said as
No, I said if
presented.
we were to do that now.
Yes,
now
yes,
we
I would like to
leave
see
it.
that now. I would like to see that now because I think that way everybody's clear.
Okay,
All right, so what do we want to say?
so
Allow entertainment events for one year,
year, yep,
When you
That's
try out
indoor
the
and
word-
outdoor.
including maybe just say including specific or exclusive to indoor karaoke.
From 6 to 9.
From 6 to 9.
That's what
Do we even need?
I would, because
Okay,
she's
from
clarified
sorry,
6 to
6
9 a couple
fine.
times.
Indoor karaoke from 6 to 9, and what days of the week is that?
that would be
That's
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturdays only. Okay, we're just
Mhm. Okay,
an acoustic.
Saturdays or
Guitar.
Sundays.
we'll say.
non-
weekend.
I'm looking
Amplified.
more, yeah, we'll say weekends. I'm looking more like a Sunday brunch kind of 12 to 2.
Weekend music from 12 to, and it's acoustic.
What we said, 12 to 3 in case.
Right.
Yeah.
12 to 2 or 1 to 3.
Yeah, so we'll give you the whole
Got it. Yeah. 12 to
12
3.
to 3, earliest and latest.
And it's acoustic, meaning
Strings only?
Strings only, no amplification.
stringed instruments.
Like, I'd love to hear.
There's no
harp.
mic.
See, I think if there's a vocalist needs to sing.
No.
Yeah, but
I'm talking, we're not talking, crushing guitar licks.
no, but they're like restaurant, like look, you go to a cafe or a coffee shop. A lot of times there's no, isn't always, I don't know.
It's like
Isn't always.
Sal.
That's a good point. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
I don't know.
fine.
So we're saying no amplification, is what we're saying.
That,
I just want to get
Works.
the thoughts what people are saying.
okay.
I say stair step into this, and
Right.
if you love doing this, and there's not a single complaint, come back next year, and we'll, what do you want to do next year, and we'll just,
Right. Mhm.
stair step to the next level. That's what I would say.
Okay,
Bare metal.
yes.
Agreed.
Anything else?
We want you to be successful. So
Oh, no,
wanna-
yeah,
we wanna
thanks.
care
I
about
I mean, I may not
potential
even
for
have
impacts in it.
acoustic,
Right.
I just,
We also make sure we,
Better to have it on here, not have it there.
exactly. That's why I'm saying both Saturday and Sunday. It would probably be
Right.
just Sundays.
Same weekend, right, exactly. Okay.
Lance, you got all that?
Mhm.
Anything else?
I think we're good. Okay, I think our discussion is done. We need a motion in a second.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the application, or no, approving, sir, right?
We're approving.
Yeah, approving
This is
application
approving.
for site plan modification made by Carol's Lunchbox to add indoor and outdoor live entertainment at 14 Westwoods Drive in an R40 zone as presented.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
I
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next up is the Friends of the Farmington Libraries.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Terry Roberts. I'm a member and here representing the Friends of the Farmington Library. And also in the audience is Michael Genovese, who is the designer of the signs that we're presenting. So if you have any specific questions for Michael, we'd be more than happy to answer those. I'm not a designer or a constructor. Okay. You probably know best the Friends of the Farmington Library as the people who run a big book sale a few times a year and have the book nook, and you see us around, and all of that money goes directly to the library to support the programs that they have there. A little known fact about the Friends, though, however, since the beginning of this century, like 2002, a garden was started at the far end of the library. Just recently, because of the construction at the high school and the new pavement for the parking lot, we had some little consternation about the garden. A piece of it got torn down, the irrigation system got, and as this is all going on, we began to realize we knew the garden was there. We knew it was wonderful, but most of the people in town didn't know the garden was there. Since all of that happened, there has been an agreement with the town and the construction company, and the small garden that we started with is now twice as big as it was before. It has a beautiful new fence, and the irrigation system is almost back to normal. So the ladies and the gentlemen who do the gardening there are very busy getting ready and expanding what we have there. And we've been working with the library to have places that they can have programs there and that kind of thing. But we want to get back to the idea that nobody knows the thing is there. We also have another garden, which people don't, they see it, but they don't know it is a Friends garden. That's the Rose Garden. So we are here, I'm here tonight to present 3 signs to help direct people to the main garden, to welcome them to our main garden, and to identify our Rose Garden. So there are pictures of everything. If you look at the map there. I don't know if you're familiar. Um, the first sign is a sign that says, "We'll invite you to our garden." That's not the first sign.
Oh,
Anyway,
Which one's A? Here we go.
keep going.
They're out of order. That's why. This is, so that's C. This is B. Oh, that's, oh, it was on the same page.
There, right there.
It's on the same page.
Friends of the Farmington Library invite you to our garden. This is a sign that would be 24 by 36. It would be located just to the left of the front doors into the library. So as you're walking up there, it wouldn't be right in front of you, but it would be there and you would see it, and it has an arrow on it, nice black arrow that the library board wanted to have it. So it points you down the sidewalk. As you go down the sidewalk, you'll get to the actual, next one,
Mhm.
to the actual garden. Right before you enter into the garden, there is a patch of a big blue spruce and some shrubs. And that's where this sign would go. And this sign is 48 by 36, I believe that's right. And Michael told us that you'll be able to see the signing from the beginning of the middle of the parking lot. So if you're in the parking lot, you can see welcome over there, and it might just get you over there. Plus, it's right next to where the trellis is that you go into, actually enter into the garden. The last one then is the rose garden. And this is right across from the entry. It's like one of the pocket parks that the garden club does, okay? But it's all roses. It started as memorials, it's grown, it's beautiful, but nobody knows that the Friends do it. So we're doing a little branding here. At the same time, we're getting people to notice our gardens and to participate. All of the signs are of wood. They will have acrylic painting on them. They have lovely colors. Some of them have colors, most of it is black. The font itself is the same font that the library uses for everything. So we're in accordance with them. So we would like to put these 3 signs up as soon as we possibly can.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, Bobby, I'll start with you.
Well, thank you for that presentation.
Oh, I just have to say one thing. I have never done this with a planning and zoning board before, and I want to compliment Lance from the planning and zoning. He held my hand all the way through the thing and worked with Michael. It was very nice to have that happen. Thank you.
But you can stay.
Wait, you stay up there because we have some questions.
I
for
might ask you some questions, Terry. You
very
aren't
good
done-
at-
You're
you
doing
aren't done
great.
yet.
You're doing great.
you. You're doing great. Just stay up there. You're gonna get grilled over. Who is maintaining these signs?
Who maintains the gardens?
No, the signs.
Oh, the signs. It will be the volunteers from the Friends of the Library. But Michael has told us that they don't need a lot of maintenance, that they are going to last for 15 to 20 years, right?
So we
Yes,
hope.
yeah.
So we hope. Okay, so it's not gonna be the town maintaining them. It's gonna be the Friends of the Library maintaining them. So if somebody
No, the
happens,
Friends of the Library, not the library,
Friends of the Library.
the Friends of the Library,
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
The Friends of the Library are a separate entity from the library. They are part of the Farmington Village Green and Library Association.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, I guess the only thing that strikes me is the size of these signs. Why are they so big?
Well, the main one, the welcome one, as I said, is big enough that people in the middle of the parking lot will notice it. If it was small, they would not see it at all. When we looked at the property right next to the door, the one that says invite, that just seemed to fall into what would fit in the spot that would be there. It'll be lower to the ground. And it'll like, there's bushes and it will be right in front of those bushes. So it won't be obtrusive at all, I don't believe. And the garden one, the rose garden one, will be on, it has to be on a post that's high enough that you can see it when all the bushes are in bloom. So that was the deciding factor for that size. Do you have anything to add to that, Michael, in terms of the size we took?
If you have any comments, can you please
come on
just
up.
come up, introduce yourself and talk to the microphone? Thanks.
Let's, I can clear up some of the reasons why the size are they are. As a rule of thumb.
Hang on, you
First
got,
thing,
Oh,
you-
sorry.
you
My name is
just need
Michael
to-
Genovese. I'm the owner of Nutmeg Signs and Graphic Arts.
Wonderful.
thank you.
And so I've been working with the Friends of Farmington Libraries, their garden signs as a project for them. And we kind of been going back and forth because it's a collaborative project we're doing with them. So they're also designing it, right? So like the floral, paintings and stuff like that are designed by some of the friends, and we're sort of like collaborating with them as kind of a, like a group project. And through our discussion, we were talking about how or what is the visibility of the sign. And so a rule of thumb for signage is 1 standing inch for 10 feet of a viewing area, right? So, if letters are an inch high, I could see it from 10 feet away. So what we have here, or what we, not on the Friends one, the Friends one's actually pretty small. That's 15 by 15.
that
But the
one I-
ones that they have at the adjacent to the entryway at the Farmington Library entrance is about 3.5 inches. So that's visible about 35 feet away, right? And the other one at the entrance of the garden itself, about 4-inch letter, 4.5-inch letter, something like that. So, yeah, they're big words, so they stretch out. They get pretty, they make a big sign, but they want it to be visible when people are driving by because it's kind of like adjacent. Not only that one's not adjacent, but it's like kind of tucked in the back there in the parking lot. So that was kind of the purpose there.
All right, and these are not going to be illuminated. They're going to be strictly acrylic painted, freestanding,
I'm sorry. I didn't-
no illumination. They're
No
just going to be
illumination.
No.
freestanding, painted.
Just, the library has illumination on the outside, so you would be able to see them from that in the evening.
And painted with enamel, not
I'm sorry, enamel, not acrylic. I'm sorry. All right, I'm just having a problem with the size of the sign. That's my thing, but let's move on. I don't want to hold everybody up.
Okay, Phil?
It took me years to find that garden initially, and I never even knew there was a rose garden. So I think these signs will be a nice addition. Are there any existing signs that this is replacing, or
No, there's none there now.
there's no signs at all?
No.
That's all I have.
Okay, Josh?
I walk through your garden frequently on my walks around town with my dog.
Good.
Lovely. I also did not know that there was a rose garden in the median there. So lovely to know that that is a rose garden. I share some of Bobby's questions about just like, I guess maybe the size of the signs, the number of signs in a close proximity, like, but I don't know that I have strong enough feelings to sort of push you on any of it. One quick question about the sign material, like I just think of maintenance as well, and I guess it's up to you guys if you maintain it, but the risk is that if it's not well maintained, then it's our community library. And it doesn't necessarily reflect well on the community if the paint starts chipping and cracking and peeling. I'm not familiar with the process, but I think of a wood sign as a terrible maintenance nightmare. And why not like just take the exact same graphics and print it on some sort of aluminum or some other material? But
I think I can speak for the people from the garden, the volunteers from the garden particularly, and from all of the Friends of the Gardens. We have a very strong and ongoing support and pride in what goes on at the Farmington Library. And I would guess that somebody who was a member of the group would be the first person to complain if they thought one of the signs wasn't looking right. I mean, I can even name you the people who I think.
Okay. No names
Um,
needed.
Including myself. But the volunteers from the garden, I'm sure, I mean, they're very proud of what they do and they want people to come. And so that's, you know, they would be sure
You got it.
not to have it any other way.
I don't have any questions, further questions. Thank you.
And just about the material, just to add, so we're using sign grade, MDO, exterior, like it's not just, you know, some MDO from Home Depot or something. Like, you know, we're using very high quality material. And the paint, reason why we're using paint is it's because it's more durable than vinyl. And it's, you know, being eco-conscious as well. You know, the reason why we paint a lot of signs like this is because we like the way that they weather. Instead of vinyl peeling off of it, off of a plastic sign or aluminum sign, the way that it weathers, it kind of patinas. Everything kind of like, you know, looks weathered. It looks like it's getting old and it's time to be replaced rather than it chipping away and being damaged. So it's a different kind of like, it's more of a patina than that.
Good to know.
Thanks for the education.
Yep.
Okay, Dave?
Yeah, thank you for that. I had no idea these gardens were here. I go to the library a lot, so it's surprising to see. And it'd be nice to have some direction on how to get there. I'm not so concerned about the 3-foot sign this long in front of the building. I would just hate to see the 4-foot, which is I guess 56 inches when you get the 2 posts there, just overshadowing the garden. I don't know how large the garden is, but other than that, I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
Okay, Lisa.
Well, it was a great presentation, and I just have to say I knew about the gardens because I was a state master gardener, and that was my first project. Was volunteering for that little garden. I got married the following year. I bought my house, and I didn't know how to do any of this. And it was the hardest thing I ever did, and it was a beautiful garden. I think the signs are awesome. I just have a quick question because you said the font was the same as the libraries. And I see two because on the last slide, if you zoom in on the actual photo, it looks like more of like a I don't even know, forgive me, like a sans serif. It's not as block as the other. So I wasn't sure which one it was.
On the Rose Garden one? Is that the one you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, the side, yeah, the welcome one, sorry.
The welcome sign.
Yeah, it's all the same font.
It's all the same.
It's the same. Yeah, it was like a requirement by the library that it's a uniform. So the font.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah, it does look different though.
Because it's all caps.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Should be.
It's different. Okay. And then I was just curious, and I totally respect that this is being made and that there's a lot of pride in it and the design work and everything. But I was just curious if in the collaboration that you thought that they would have more exposure or it would complement the library more, Michael, if it was designed differently in any way?
There's a need for uniformity when there's a library or an institute or something like that. So I get where they're coming from. There's just not a lot of presence of that identity on the library. You know, like that font isn't used on Farmington Library sign.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
It's the font that's across the top.
Is it the same one?
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel, it has a
and
different.
It's the same font that they're using for their interior signage
Right.
also.
So
So
there's,
that's why the library board instructed us to redo this and use that font. that
which
They're
is,
trying
you
to
know,
be uniform.
so we want to work with that. You know, there was, the initial designs did have like a distinguished sort of
Yeah.
subtle, more
Yeah.
formal, like a serif font on it that just kind of brought it up a little bit. But yeah, no, I think that it doesn't, I think with them being so stark white out there, you know, that's really what it's going to come down to. And also these little flourishes that they designed, you know, we'll hand paint those. They'll just have a warmth to them or like an organic look to them that'll just be a
Nice.
little bit different than a parking lot sign.
Thank
So
you.
we built it in.
That's great.
Subtle, but
I can see it more now, like it's
I'm
more
glad you can't,
consistent,
so
I
to
think.
see these flourishes come out.
Can't wait. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rob.
Not a question, just kind of a concern. The small sign for the Friends Rose Garden in that little island. Is there any way that that can be moved back towards the middle of that island more? My only concern is snow removal,
Mhm.
because
Yep.
Oh.
snow is gonna be piled in that island. It always is.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
And I'd hate to see you put a nice sign up and it get taken down by snow.
Well, we certainly can take that in consideration when we're putting it. I mean, it's a pretty big plot.
Well, right,
I
no,
know
no,
what you mean. The snow is all.
yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna pile snow. Cause where that silver car is and where Bruce is, where that black car is, snow's gonna be pushed that way. And
Yeah.
piled where that car's
Yeah.
parked
Under-
basically. And depending on how much snow we get in a year, you can take up good majority of that island
Yes.
with snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my only concern, cause I'd hate to see you guys do all this and something happen to that sign.
Right.
That's all.
Right. Well, we can, when we're
Even put it
actually
next to that light pole.
Xing the
Yeah,
spot, we can take that into
Well, I mean, we could do it
consideration.
now. I mean, we could just do it dead center in that.
Yeah.
Make it removable and take it out every fall, put it back in the spring.
It's not a bad idea,
yeah,
actually.
if you could do
It's a
that.
small enough sign, like we don't have to we're not gonna cement it in there
Yeah.
like that, if it's
I
small.
I mean,
one.
somebody
But
that's.
did that-
Have a
But-
sleeve that
put
you
sheer
can slide
pins
it
on.
down.
Public
Just a
Works
sleeve,
thing.
But now we're talking about maintenance, right? So you
Yeah.
can do that,
True.
right?
Um,
So there's a thing there.
That
Where
is
does the
true,
sign
too.
go? Does it get banged up?
Right.
Yeah.
There's like a whole thing with
That's-
storage.
That's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a thought, that's all. I would hate to see it
Oh, good looking, out.
plowed over
I
or
didn't even
whatever.
think of that.
What if it was posted? Is that a light post right there? I realize it does not maybe go with the aesthetic you were thinking, but it may serve the
Or if you
purpose
mount
you're
it.
aiming for, is to put it on that light post.
I think it's a little far out.
Okay.
Like the rose garden's a little closer in towards the
Right.
entrance,
Yes.
so
Oh,
that
that's
would
not-
be.
I was just thinking more in the middle of that garden.
Wait,
Yeah.
Wait, is that not where it's
Is
going?
that not the rose garden right there in the picture?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's the
it's
little-
not
so
going
that
on the
would- so
post.
that-
is outside of the garden. So it's-
Sure, by okay.
I was just
Perhaps the
thinking,
library would let you extend the rose garden.
I was just thinking about putting it more in the middle of that rose garden, right about where that cursor is now.
I'm trying to be creative.
It'd be,
Right there.
Right
dead
in there.
center.
Right.
Yeah.
Take it under advisement.
Yes.
We'll just make,
Okay, well, thank you for the presentation,
Can I
Tim.
say just one more thing?
Yes,
I
please.
want you all to know that Michael here has helped us through all of this thing. And not only that, he has contributed all of his design work and only charging the Friends for the materials to make the signs. So
That's
thank you, Michael.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for that.
Appreciate it. And I don't have any questions either. So I think we're ready to move forward. I need a motion and a second.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application for 3 signs to be installed at the Farmington Library Gardens at 6 Monteith Drive in an R40 zone.
Second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? The motion carries. Now you can get the signs in. Thank you.
Smaller, but not the end of the world.
Okay, 402 Farmington Avenue LLC.
Good evening, Madam Chair, fellow
Good evening.
commissioners. I'm Kyle Richards. Excuse me. Here on behalf of 402 Farmington Avenue. 402 Farmington Avenue, of course, is the 130 apartment community located directly across from the Yukon Health Center that we're nearing completion of construction. We're in the home stretch. And our request for your consideration here tonight is a reinstatement of the permission to conduct internal construction activities on Saturdays between the hours of 7:30 and 3:30 through the end of August. So by way of background, it's on your screen now, but we were approved for this community back in 2021. And it was, it had a lot of interest, a lot of public interest. And at the time, there was a condition of approval, which was very reasonable, frankly, that there were no construction activities to take place on the weekend. And that was mainly due to concerns over noise. And like I said, it wasn't unreasonable at the time because to step back, we have a 130,000 square foot building. There's a tremendous amount of framing, nails going into boards, produce a lot of noise. And in addition to the framing, we had a real heavy lift as it related to site work. We were blasting. We moved a lot of rock. Blasting's this ephemeral, quick pop, but then you got to deal with all the rock. You move it around site, you haul it out of there. So again, the original condition of approval was prudent. It was reasonable, but it was at a time when we were in a different phase of construction. Flash forward to December, I came before this commission and requested the request was to have internal construction activities only. The building's fully enclosed, and that was through the period of April. I'm now requesting that we have a continuance of that provision through the end of August. And, I really don't like to come here more than once. Frankly, you guys give up your Mondays. I give up a lot of my evenings, I know. But I really feel like this is an important thing. It'll cut about a month off of the end of our construction schedule. And what we're talking about here, just to provide some context of the trades, we're talking about painters. We're talking about people putting carpet in. We're talking about drywall joint compounding. So again, fully enclosed building, no deliveries, no tractor trailers on the weekend, simply internal, no courtyard activities. As you know, we have a courtyard in the center. This would be no different than someone painting their kitchen on a Saturday morning. That's the request. Again, I appreciate your consideration. I hate to do it twice, but I really believe that this is not, this is imperceptible from the neighbors. And if we can shave a month off of the construction schedule, roughly, I think it benefits everyone, the town, the neighbors, and certainly us. So I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you. Bobby, questions?
Bruce, have we had any complaints of noise coming from that project at all?
There had been a couple of instances, was it? I want to say this year, I think there was maybe one or two for work on a Saturday, I think is what it was. So
Was that after we had approved the Saturday?
yes, it was. It was after. So one of them, I think, was just someone dropping off a truck. It was like a transfer of a truck or something like that. And the other item was a actual working on the weekend. So.
All right. No, I personally don't see a problem with it. Like you say, everybody at this time is cutting the grass and doing all that. So we have plenty of noise all over town. I think you guys have been very considerate neighbors considering the size of this project. I personally live, not too far from there and I don't hear anything. And now like you're saying, you're getting down to the crunch time with carpets and paints, and as long as there's going to be no deliveries, and you're just going to have employees. You can't control all your employees, and you might have one that's going to leave there with a loud radio or whatever. I'm not going to put that onus on you because it's not your fault. I would hope that you would advise your guys to be respectful. That being said, I don't have a problem extending it out, especially now that we're going to get into the hot months and everybody's going to have the windows closed with AC anyway. So
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Phil?
No, nothing additional, Don.
Josh?
Building's fully HVAC capable and will be on Saturdays so that there will not be windows open. Will there be windows painting? They need fumes. They need air.
We could have windows
Not
closed.
that painting's noisy, but sorry.
Yeah, no, we can have windows closed. The HVAC won't be running.
Okay.
I'm being candid with you. We won't.
That's what I'm trying to.
We're not going to cool the building.
Okay.
But we could certainly have the windows closed.
Are they doing cabinetry, other millwork, doors, other interior work? Literally painting and.
Not on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, not on Saturday.
And then there was a discussion of potentially like holiday weekends. Could we not do it on holiday weekends? So
Sure.
I guess I don't remember the time when this is, you're
Probably
asking
4th of
through
July.
August, so it's, I
August
guess
31st.
Fourth of
Sure.
I guess it would be Memorial Day
Memorial
and 4th
Day,
of July, Juneteenth maybe.
Yeah, whatever holidays staff would require, I'm certainly open to that.
I mean, my thought would be the Saturday, even if the holiday is the Monday. I don't know, just to, if that's okay.
Mhm.
And then, so from your perspective on complaints that you're aware of, that either you got directly, perhaps from neighbors that may have contact information for your organization, or through the town or the police department. And I don't know if you have a comment on what, any more detail. I know Bruce is filling in here and doing a great job, but so I don't know if he would necessarily knows the details. Do you know more?
You know, I don't remember that specific one. I'm being honest. I mean, look, there's from 3 years ago until now, there have been some noise complaints. One time we got called because they thought we were taking down the trees, and it was someone running a wood chipper up on Prattling Pond. So I mean, there was. I'm not purporting that this is a construction site. There was loud noises, but I really believe that we've done the best we can to work within the parameters and be respectful.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Dang.
No, I worried about keeping windows closed and suffocating painters and being responsible for that.
Then we get the sirens going up.
Yeah.
Sounds like we'd have to have the windows open.
Yeah, it might have to. Yeah, so I don't know if like we can require that, but is there a reason why we have 3/3 there? Is that the request?
That was the request.
You didn't want to go beyond that.
You know, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible. Yeah, I'd love to be later.
At least you're honest.
Yeah.
At least you're honest.
Yeah. No, I'm just wondering why we had that, because to get the work done even sooner.
Yeah.
What was our thinking behind that? Just to be.
That was the
I
request.
think that
Yeah.
was the request. That was how it was written.
Do we have any other precedent for people working later on Saturday?
For this site or for others?
Other sites?
Noise ordinance
Yeah,
until 6.
Yeah, the noise ordinance is until 6. As the applicant stated, I think the reason was because this was a very long public hearing. There was lots of neighbors who expressed concerns. So I think the commission at that time had really tried to clamp down on keeping that noise as limited as possible. So
Is it my thinking with painting and,
that, again, I think
you need-
during the hearing,
Yeah.
construction, as the applicant was saying, is banging hammers, running saws,
right.
power tools. They're down, now they're down to the actual specifics of knowing where they are, and now they're saying it's gonna be simple painting, sheetrock, mud and things like that, so.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Lisa.
I'm just curious also too, a little bit, like, why not ask for like no deliveries before 9, and like to offer your, crew more opportunity to work to help, move this along farther. I was just curious if it's necessary, like why weekends just for painting and doing all this just for that scope of work and not taking advantage of like a later part of the day. I just curious.
So just to make sure I'm understanding, as it relates to the deliveries, we would just accept deliveries during the week.
Mhm.
So we wouldn't accept any deliveries on Saturdays. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. And then I just out of, I did work with project management before. I'm not like an expert in any way, but just curious, why not, if you're opening it up, not doing other aspects of work? It's just painting, like you're not.
Well, we're at the stage of the development where the inside is effectively complete. We're like punch listing. So we're cabinets are in and the majority of flooring's in, but you're painting, you're touching up. We're headed towards seeking CO from the town.
Oh, okay.
But it's like I'm looking at it pragmatically. when you have 5 days in the week, you now have 6, you're improving whatever that is, 15-20% over a week. It shortens the construction project.
Right.
So,
Okay, I appreciate it. And I agree with Josh too. It would be great if not on holidays. We have
sure.
another project going on that's really loud right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Rob?
I have no.
Okay. I am appreciative of your very well-crafted. I think everyone's with 402 has been working hard to make sure everyone's needs are taken care of. And I just wonder, did one of your workers have a backup alarm and that's what got someone upset on enough? I don't know. I'm
Right.
just supposing, I've heard enough of those backup beeps.
Right.
So, but no, I don't have any further questions aside from, do you have an anticipated completion?
So the building, believe it or not, even though it's entirely, it's effectively 2 buildings that are fixed to each other. So for the purposes of like the fire department, and Bruce knows, and Lance, there's a firewall in the middle of that building. So it's effectively 2. The first phase is like done basically. The second phase is where we're trying to put our foot on the gas and accelerate. So to answer your question, we'll be seeking COs in 60 days.
Oh, wow.
On
Okay.
a large portion of it. So we're almost there.
Leasing is
Started. Yes.
Okay. Oh,
Which side is you're almost done with? Was it
The western side, Plan West.
Okay.
So
This
so
part,
the
I can't my cursor.
Yeah.
So this side you're done with. So the side facing
Farmington
resident-
Avenue is phase 2. Yep.
is phase 2. So that one is the one you're working on heavy on.
Right.
So really the ones against the houses, the ones that are closest to the houses is practically done, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Good.
okay. That's great. Any other questions? Okay, then I guess I need a motion and a second.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the application for site plan modification as required for modification of conditions of approval as granted on May 24th, 2021 to 402 Farmington Ave LLC. And also modified December 8th, 2025 to allow for internal construction activities on Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. until August 31st, 2026.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Sorry,
Oh,
I just had one clarification. Are we agreeing to put as a restriction that if the Saturday falls on a holiday weekend, that Saturday is not permitted? Do folks agree with that or not? Every Saturday is fine.
If the holiday falls on the actual Saturday,
No, because I don't know of any holidays that fall on Saturdays, or it's pretty rare, but it's like.
4th of July.
4th of
is
July
This may be a
this
non-issue.
year,
Maybe.
actually.
I think
I'm
4th
just
of
thinking like
July is
Memorial Day,
Saturday.
like Memorial Day weekend.
4th of July is
So
Saturday.
4th of July is
Yeah.
on a Saturday.
All right, so
Right.
4th of July.
4th of July is on Saturday.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about Memorial Day, Juneteenth.
Memorial Day's Monday.
If it goes to Labor Day. But then-
Oh, it won't go to Labor Day. I hope,
He
I
hopes-
hope
Won't
for
be
your
back.
sake, Kyle,
Won't be back.
we won't. Nothing personal,
I don't know.
but
All right.
Just trying to give people that, but if no one else cares, then I withdraw the question and we can proceed. if you'd like.
no feelings one way or the other.
I mean, the chances of people working on 4th of July
Right. I
That's
think
right.
that's gonna be
at that kind of
dismal,
money.
Yeah,
Right.
triple time probably.
Exactly.
so. Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, everyone understands what we're voting on, right? Okay, great. So, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the motion passes.
Thank you for your time.
Congratulations and
Thank you.
Keep painting. Okay, next up, Ray Tribuzio. Please come to.
Hello. I'm here to ask,
Can I just ask you to introduce yourself, your name and.
I'm sorry, Ray Tribuzio, 6 Reservation Road.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm in the process of getting a permit to put an apartment above my garage. less than 700 square feet. And I'm here to ask approval for an entry on the road side of the garage. I have an entry on that would be the south side. I have an entry on the north side now, which goes up to my storage area. The 700 feet is, if I were to make that the entrance, people would have to go through the unheated area to get into the apartment. The east side is my driveway side, so that would be pretty impossible. And the west side that borders the forest is my only access to get to my backyard. It's a driveway that goes through there. So that's it. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Let's start with commissioner questions. Bobby?
I just want to get a better look of the house. So all you're looking for is the stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
I'm sorry, but I wear hearing aids.
Okay.
So if you would just speak up a little bit.
Not a problem.
Apologize.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Bruce to get to the house so I can get.
Oh,
a
no
picture.
problem.
We love aerial photographs in this,
Yes.
this group, but it's so very helpful.
No, there it is. Yeah, the garage is approximately, it's just over 90 feet off the road. So it's not right on the road.
And where's the staircase coming out onto the driveway?
Onto the driveway, yes.
And that's.
Oh, no. Onto the,
Onto the south side.
there's a loop onto the south side of the garage, not onto the paved driveway. I think once he gets the picture, I can.
Yep. I'll grab up some other pictures too. I have other pictures here that we took this morning. That may help out. And I apologize. I can't have everything open on this at one
Nope.
time. It'll just melts down on me. So I want to be careful.
Don't worry, we understand.
Exactly.
Photos from this morning. This is the street here,
The two in,
existing house, and here's the garage here. So the stairs would be right here. Is it? Sorry, the stairs would be right here,
yep.
correct?
The stairs will be right where those two windows are in the
Yep.
garage.
Mhm.
That's going to be a 6-foot French door with lights on either side. And the stairs are going to have, there's going to be a platform that's going to be 5 by 10. And the stairs will lead down toward the back of the garage.
When you say, Bruce, can you go back to that picture for a
Go back to the
second?
picture. Yep.
When you say back towards the back, so not where the trucks parked, the opposite way towards the tailgate?
That's correct.
Actually, I'll go back to here. You can see right here.
There you go, right there. The picture to the left.
Okay. And they're not enclosed, they're all exposed.
I'm sorry.
They're going to be exposed. It's not going to be an enclosed staircase.
There will be a roof over the landing, but not the stairs.
Okay.
And that roof line will the roof line for the garage will carry out over it. There.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can see it there.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, good looking project.
It's going to be as aesthetically pleasing as possible.
Cool. All right, I'm good.
Okay, and Phil?
So is this falling under the attached ADU and not detached, right? Forget where that landed.
You're asking,
Yes.
asking me? Yes, it falls under the attached ADU.
So could you go over again how that's different than the detached,
Okay, let me grab my notes here for this one.
or at least the parts that matter here?
Nope, understood. So the garage was originally constructed in 2002. All right, at that time, in our accessory regulations, it requires that the garage, that an accessory building be either located to the rear of the building or in the middle thirds, and that's a different part of the reg, but it has to be more or less to the back of the building. Okay. However, there was an exclusion for if it's attached. Okay. So if it's attached, it just has to meet the front yard because it's all just one unit technically. But there was a definition for the attachment, and it just had to be a roof, a simple breezeway type roof. Well, there was a few people that had taken that to the wrong side per se. There was some very sad roofs, let's just say. So they had, so since that 2002, they had actually changed the regulation and beefed it up a little bit more to include walls. And therefore it's a more substantial unit. So at the time this was constructed, it did meet the zoning regulations. Okay, for an attached unit, hence that's why it was in the front yard. Okay, and that's what the attorney's opinion letter states, is that because it was attached at that point, they're saying that it falls under the regulation. So it's what we call an existing non-conforming use. So.
And in staff's opinion, this staircase is acceptable under that?
Well, it does, the regulations do allow for, sorry, the reason it's here is because the regulations don't allow for a staircase to be on the street side, on the viewing side. So it says unless otherwise approved by the commission. So that's why the applicant is here to discuss that staircase.
All right, so I guess only one more question. It still meets the setback requirements even with the addition of the staircase?
Exactly, yes. Yes, it still meets the front yard setback, so.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Jameson.
Um,
Formal, Josh, I'm
No,
sorry.
that's okay. No worries. Call me Hey You, it works too. So I'm not sure where to start. And I feel like I'm in a difficult position, and I don't want to put you in a difficult position because I have concerns about the application. And my concerns relate to some of the questions that we were just discussing about the location of the garage, attached or detached, what the impact of that is, and whether this is a conforming or non-conforming structure. And so the definition in our zoning regulations of a non-conforming structure is essentially, there's three different types of structures that can exist in zoning. There's a legal approved conforming structure that meets all of the current zoning regulations. There's an illegal structure that was not permitted and just isn't supposed to exist. And then there's what's called non-conforming structure, which is a structure which was approved and a legal structure at some point in time, but the rules have changed since then. And your garage falls clearly in the definition of a non-conforming structure, in that it is in the front yard and it is not attached by the current definition. And while the attorney has issued, the town attorney issued a letter that described his interpretation that somehow makes a non-conforming building a conforming building, I find the logic illogical, because if you follow his logic, unfortunately, it suggests that any non-conforming building is essentially a conforming building because at the time that it was approved, it met the regulations. And it is improper to evaluate a new application and expansion of use, which includes extension of the roof, a new staircase. We didn't discuss the dormer that I understand will be added to the backside of the, which also increases the square footage, the usable square footage of the building. And so unfortunately, from my perspective, this is a non-conforming detached accessory garage. And there's several implications here. It seems what's happening is that we're kind of trying to twist ourselves in knots to make this a conforming structure to avoid what unfortunately is kind of the part that Commissioner Cordero brought up, which is about the ADU regulations, where there are different requirements for a detached versus an attached ADU. If it was attached, is under 700 square feet, it's allowed by right. But if it's detached, it requires a special permit, it requires notification of neighbors and a public hearing. And it is also not allowed, a detached is not allowed in the front yard, which the garage already exists in the front yard. So I don't see how that sort of would work. So from my perspective, this seems like kind of an end run around the ADU regulations. And it is a kind of, I don't see how this is not an expansion of a non-conforming use. In fact, it is a new use to use a garage, which its primary use is parking of vehicles, storage and other accessory types of uses. To add a new use to a non-conforming is just a principle of zoning that you are not allowed to do that. And so unfortunately, I don't see how this can proceed. So I allow you to respond to my commentary, not a specific question if you wish, but you certainly don't have to. And I'm also citing things I know that the lawyer was talking about. So I don't want to ask you to speak for the lawyer in any way, but if you have any response, you're welcome to respond.
When I first came to the town, I asked all these questions and the town said to me, no, you're fine. And as a matter of fact, we even talked to our lawyer and our lawyer said, you're fine.
Yeah.
So I really don't know how to respond to that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but
No, that's a fair response.
yeah, and I've done my due diligence to talk to everyone that I've had to talk to along the line and spent truly a lot more money than I thought I would have to engineer this and to give everybody the proof that they needed.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Unfortunately, from my perspective, if we approve this tonight, we are essentially telling anyone that if they have a non-conforming structure, that they simply need to say that it was conforming at the time that it was approved, which is by definition what a non-conforming structure is, and they are therefore allowed to bypass the current regulations, which is.
I'm not trying to bypass anything though.
Well, you,
but I'm not.
With respect,
yeah,
you are asking to build an ADU in a detached building in your front yard, which is not permitted.
I don't see it that way. I see it as an ADU that is approved, and the building's in my front yard because I put it there in the proper manner.
At the time, yes.
At the time, that's right.
But it was not approved as an ADU at the time.
I'm not here to argue.
No, well,
if I could just clarify too, though, the application is actually just for the stairs.
Stairs, that's
We're
right.
not approving an ADU right now. And
but he will, so.
Right, so
but
the town's already gone through that process. So for us to go over that, I think would be problematic. Really, the application is for following what the town has already approved. The application is actually just for the stairway. So whether or not we're allowing him to do that, whether or not we're not able to judge whether or not the ADU should be there.
The purpose of the staircase is to provide access to an ADU.
Right. But to an ADU that's already been
Approved.
we've not been asked to approve.
I don't believe anything's approved. It's allowed by right based on the letter from the lawyer, from the attorney.
And the people we hired from our town. That's
right. I understand.
We're getting into. I think we're getting into a place where we may not be able to be. I don't know that we can question that. I don't know that this is a place for us to question that here.
This is a discretionary approval that we have the ability to accept or deny. I think that the proper thing that this to me appears to be engineered to be an end run around our ADU regulations, and I don't think that's proper. It is a detached dwelling, accessory building. It is not attached, and the ADU regulations require a public hearing for an ADU. And so I think for us to continue to go down this road to approve anything related to that is an end run around our regulations. So
I just wonder those questions should go to Bruce.
The questions did go to Bruce and Shannon. So I haven't received a response. So.
Okay.
All right. One question I have for you, sir. Would you be willing to turn your detached non-conforming garage into an attached and then conforming garage by changing your current breezeway type structure into a enclosed an enclosed passageway that meets the current regulations?
No, I wouldn't. I don't see, I just don't think that's right.
Okay.
I mean, actually, with all due respect, if I put my stairway somewhere else, I wouldn't have even had to come here. So it's moot. I don't, and I'm not trying to be a wise guy or anything, but I mean, I want to put a set of stairs in. I think the well, I'm not a lawyer. I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
No, I would not want to.
I understand we disagree. It's not
Yeah.
personal. This to me is about the rule of law and the integrity of our regulations. It's not about your particular project. I understand that.
For me, it's pretty personal. I'm sorry. It
understand.
just is. Been working a long time to get this going.
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dave, do you have any questions?
No.
Anything else that's come up? Okay. Lisa?
I think it's beautiful and very aesthetically pleasing.
Thank you.
I, as a property specialist, I think it adds to the structure and I like it.
Thank you.
Robin?
No, I have nothing at this time.
Okay, I do have one question, Mr. Trevisi. It's, when you built the garage originally?
Yep.
Was there an attic space or has this always been a second floor, so to speak, and upstairs kind of?
It's always been a second floor storage, but I built, if the way it's built, there's a very large girder that runs on the center because I had a dream in 2002, actually, when I bought the place in the 80s, that I would do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has always been a usable space that
Yes.
has supported people and materials and things like
Yes.
that. Okay, so it's not a couple of stringers up there that you're kind of
No.
holding together with a little duct tape and
No.
railing plank. I didn't think so. Okay. Okay, so that has always been an area that you've used. Okay. Let me just thinking if there's one other. I think that was my major question. Okay.
Two more real
Yep.
quick. So two quick questions, Mr. Teruzza. What's it going to be made out of? The staircase, is it going to be pressure treated? Is it steel?
It's going to be steel. It's going to be actually pressure treated and
Trex?
I'd like to go with Trex. Yeah.
Composite, okay. And then if this doesn't get approved, what's the other option? What other way would you get up there?
I don't have another option. I really don't. Because if I can't have anything that's aesthetically pleasing and have someone walk up the back stairs through a storage area that's not heated to get into the apartment.
Yeah. Okay. And then this prevents, like if you were to put the staircase inside, then you're gonna have to go through the garage to get up there.
Yes.
Prevents that, so you're putting it on the outside so you can still have security while they get upstairs.
Correct.
Gotcha, okay.
And aesthetically, I wanted whoever rents this, whether it be a family member or someone I don't know, it's a separate entity. They come and go as they please, and they have nothing to do with my family, and my family has nothing to do with them.
I follow you. Which brings up another quick thing. So, and I'm just thinking where that truck was, is there gonna be protection so somebody doesn't run into that staircase and knock it out?
Definitely. I want to widen that just a little bit because I want to widen it about 8 feet and put a bollard in front of each of the they actually call for 4x4s, but it's going to be 6x6s.
Okay.
Holding the landing and the stairs up, and I'll have bollards in there.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
That's it, I'm good then. Okay.
Concrete now?
Yeah.
Just ask.
Okay. Other questions? Anything else has
If
come
you
up?
if you don't mind, I've got
Please.
in response to Commissioner Davison's comments. We did speak with the town attorney again today. It was a little difficult, so I didn't get to it very late in the day by the time we were able to get a touch base. So we did talk about the comments that the commissioner raised. Town attorney said that he stands by his letter, and it's ultimately commission's determination of how they feel. He gave an opinion. You take that all into consideration in your decision.
Other questions, comments, concerns, anything that have come up?
I'll just say one last thing if I can.
Yep.
Just, I
This
think
is the time.
it's fundamentally unfair to allow this ADU in a detached dwelling when we don't allow ADUs in a detached dwelling without a public hearing, and to allow this to happen when it is clearly a detached dwelling by current zoning. I think it's not an appropriate outcome. But
Okay.
thanks.
I will just share a personal bit. My house was built in 1850. It is non-conforming by a long shot.
By a long
That's
shot.
my neighbors are like right there. So, and our, garage is right up against our back fence. I would, yes, has that limited us to do some things? Yes. But it also hasn't, my husband and I haven't had to tear things down and move my house to the middle of the lot in order to move forward. So I think there are ways for everyone to make sure that we are protecting the integrity of the town's rules and regulations, but not getting too caught up in the fine points. So that is my opinion. I'm not speaking for the entire board. So
This is for the staircase, correct?
correct. That is the one thing that is in front of us. Is to determine whether we can
Improve the
approving
staircase.
The staircase.
But we also would have the power, correct me if I'm wrong, Bruce, but the power to require a public hearing and to declare that this is a detached accessory dwelling, accessory building, and that its current use is as a garage, which is a non-conforming use, and that we're going by approving this would allow, it would be enabling an additional use, an expansion of a non-conformity. And so that is something that is just not allowed under our own zoning regulations. And so again, like Liz, I'm very familiar with non-conforming buildings. I own non-conforming buildings. Like I understand what that means. It in no way prohibits you from using your property or your building in the way that it is approved to be used. It just does prohibits you from expanding it, that current non-conforming use, and it prohibits you from adding new non-conforming uses. And somehow we've twisted ourselves into a pretzel to allow this to happen. And if we do this for Mr. Trabuzio, then why don't we just get rid of the restriction that says you can't put ADUs in front yards in detached dwellings? Like, why do we have these rules? Like the purpose of changing zoning is so that over time we eliminate things that we collectively and the commissioners before us have deemed what we want for the town. I'm not even making an argument about whether I think this is a good idea or a bad idea. This to me is about principle, rule of law, and the integrity of our regulations. And I understand the impact is personal, and to every owner of a non-conforming property, when you face these things, it is impactful. I understand that. But that is the nature of zoning and restricting uses of zoning of land that is private property. I suspect I have no support on the commission for this, but I just wanted to make my point. So,
okay,
thank you.
Bruce, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So, if the commission chooses to approve the staircase, I guess I should say, we have options. We could approve. We could not approve. Could we, I guess, I want to make sure that everyone is understanding where we are and where we can go.
Well, the options are to approve the staircase as presented,
Mhm.
approve the staircase with conditions. If you were something specific you wanted added to that, all right, you could deny the staircase, which in that point, as the applicant said, I don't want to say it makes it unbuildable, but it makes it extremely difficult to then service that building. Or 3, you can determine that, yes, this does require a special permit, or I mean, yes, a special permit.
Okay,
So
which would then be a public
Exactly.
hearing.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. And like I said, this is specifically for the stairs. Based on that letter from the town attorney, the town would have probably signed off on the building permit if it wasn't for the stairs being out front. So that's what triggered this planning and zoning application.
So we're not denying the ADU, we're just denying the staircase that goes up to the ADU.
On
Yes,
front of the
yes, yes. If you decide
we
to,
decide to
if you
do-
decide to deny, yes.
If
Right.
that was.
Right.
Mhm.
We could also, correct me, Bruce, but we could, so as you said, we could suggest that this requires a public hearing because it is, in fact, by definition, a detached accessory dwelling in the front yard. And ADUs are not allowed in detached accessory dwellings in the front yard because accessory dwellings in the front yard are not allowed. And so this is a creative interpretation to get around the rule that exists. And again, it's like we have now on several occasions sort of had this where we have rules and we choose to ignore them because we're okay with the circumstances. And that's fundamentally unfair in that how many owners who have detached accessory dwellings in their front yard have never considered this because they can read the regulations plain language and say that this is not permitted. And instead it takes just come to the town and the town attorney will give you a letter that says it's fine, which undermines the entire reason why we are here, to make these zoning rules and to evaluate proposals against them. So we could also deny this application and provide another path for Mr. Trabuzio, which is that he could go to the Zoning Board of Appeals and request variances for this situation, for having this accessory dwelling unit in a detached accessory dwelling that is non-conforming, and to allow it to be an expanded use as well. Whether that's approved or not, that'd be up to the Zoning Board of Appeals, but a variance would be a more appropriate way to handle this.
And can I just interrupt you for a second? And if you do that, I was told that I could, if I stayed below 700 square feet, I wouldn't need any variance at all. If I have to go back, I might as well make the whole thing an apartment. And then I might as well spend another $10,000 to have the architect come in and get involved again. And I'm doing this all because I was told there should be no problem. As a matter of fact, I didn't know I needed this approval until maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know that you can say that's really not our problem. Well, is it mine? You know, I mean, I don't know who to ask. I tried to do everything exactly the way you want it done. And now I'm surprised that I'm running into this. And I, with respect, I resent the fact that the term end run is being used with my project. I resent that because that's not the case. That's not who I am. That's not who I ever was. And you should know more about me before you say something like that.
It wasn't necessarily pointed at you, sir.
So
you get excited. I apologize.
I understand.
our homes are very special to us.
They are. They are.
So that's what we got to remember. It's our home. So, okay. So we as a commission need to figure out our next step forward. Okay. So in order to vote, we need to have a motion and a second we need to have a motion to deal with. So, I would like to ask for a motion and a second concerning this.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the application for site plan for accessory dwelling unit stairs be located along the side of the building, facing the road at 6 Reservation Road in R40 zone, made by Ray Trevizio.
Second.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Abstentions? Okay, so the motion has passed. So good luck with your stairs, Mr. Trabuzio.
I'm done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, it's not to deny that you haven't brought up valid points. So. Okay, next, what's next on our agenda? Okay, now we need to accept some applications. So I'm gonna need some motions and seconds and votes.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the application made by Elizabeth and Manuel Coelho. Yes, Coelho, for a special permit and site plan approval for a new single-family home in excess of 1,600 square feet living area. Excuse me. And 2,200 square feet total area at 8638 Pine Drive in an R9 LG zone, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of Monday, June 8th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, great. We'll see you on the 8th. Okay, and item number 6.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the application made by Noble Energy Real Estate Holdings LLC for an amendment to section 19 of the 2007-2016 Plan of Conservation and Development and section 10 of the 2018 POCD Addendum, Zone Text Amendment to Article 2, Section 12B, Zone Change portion of R40 land area to B1, and special permit and site plan approval for warehouse, fueling stations, and convenience store uses at the lot at 8261 Finneman Road, and schedule a public hearing with a recommended hearing date of Monday, July 27th, 2026.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Okay. Now, I just, would anyone mind if we took a 3 or 4 minute break? Just a little break for just a second. I'm just gonna stand up. And I'm gonna step out. Just a second.
Oh, no. It's awful.
Pollen's killing me. I caught my grass before I got here.
What happened?
So
Oh.
now it's starting to kick in.
Well, that was me like last 2 weeks. It's so weird. My like deathbed overlay.
Pollen.
It's like the voice sounds like.
That's the way I was all last week. You have, and then you get that like acid throat, you know, from the post nasal drip. Yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the same too.
Yes. So. Okay, so tonight, now we are moving on to our public hearing portion of the meeting. And public hearings are a chance for applicant to share their information, present to the commissioners. We'll ask questions, and then there'll be a chance for there'll be time for public comment, and we'll ask people in the room. There aren't a lot here, and we'll check in online, and people will have a chance to ask their questions. And just hope everyone can be respectful, and gentlemen, please begin.
Thank you. I'm Jason Staubach, Staubach Architects. I'm here representing Bob Carley.
I'm Bob Carley, the homeowner.
Bob is third generation to be living in this house at 27 Oakland. It's in the R9 OG zone, and I know our application is to install an addition that is larger than the zoning regulations. And I think, we understand the intent of the zoning regulations based on the Gardens District, and really the intent to maintain the smaller scale and feel of the neighborhood. So as part of our design intent, Bob is looking to have a 2-car garage with a first floor living space above, a living room, bedroom, bathroom. That'll be an addition off the back of the building. The property slopes from the street downwards, so we're actually able to have the garage below, and then the addition actually sits at the same level or beneath, so it's really in keeping with the scale of the property itself. Do you have some of the 3D views? Yep. So there are the elevations, if you would. But there's the street view with the addition tucked towards the back. Garage on the lower level with a short little bit of a roof to modulate the scale of the building so it doesn't feel as tall. So we've got that small section of roof. And then that's a little bit closer, so you can see the garage doors with the low roof and then windows along. We've played with the roof scale a little bit to make sure it stays underneath the height of the existing residence. And then if you want to go around to the other side, that is from, as you drive down the street, it's pretty in keeping with the scale of the house. So the intent really is for, Bob to have a little bit more living space. It's a 2-bedroom house with relatively small bedrooms. I think the hope is that the 4th generation will continue to live in this property, and it's really intended that family comes back and can have events in at a little bit larger living room than the 1950s house originally.
My grandmother moved there with my father at 29. And they lived next door on 23, and that property became mine, and I sold it a few years ago. And they built a McMansion there. And again, they didn't really respect it. It's a big frontage. I'm respecting that by you cannot see the addition from the street. Again, as Jason said, the roof line's lower, everything is more detailed in the back.
So we'll open up to any questions.
Okay, well, we'll start with commissioners. Bobby, any question?
I'm just seeing what Bruce is doing over here. So we're just expanding this home because the needs got to the point where you've outgrown the 1,400 square feet. Is that it?
Correct. Yeah, it's my wife and I now. It was my parents' home. My grandmother lived next door, and they both passed, my mother and father, and we decided to, again, since I've done a lot of the work in the house all these years, I decided to go back and live there. And I don't know, again, we're adding on because we have 7 grandkids, and everybody comes home. This house is just way too small. And
I think
everybody's in the area.
there's also no covered garage, so we're providing that and a small workspace, the shop in the lower level.
The only thing I noticed, and I'm not an architect by any means, it's just curiosity. Why didn't you run the roof line consistent. Why did you step the roof?
The idea was instead of having a large 2-story facade, the way that the house is broken up now, doing a lower roof, so it stepped it a little bit, so it felt a little more shorter in scale.
All right, but maybe it's just the view. When I look at it from the back view, it looks like it's stepped up.
The
taller than
back view, the other side view?
The other side view.
The other side, the hill slopes upwards towards the neighbor, so we couldn't do anything like that on the other side. So we've got a little bit more foundation to keep it at the same
That one, stop right there.
first floor.
So what am I looking, the section off to the right, that's the new addition?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, and if you notice, the roof line is taller than the other roof line.
That roof that you're pointing to right now is an existing roof. And we're overbuilding on that to tie the two in together. And the main roof is at the same roof height as the original house.
Now I follow you. Okay,
So we didn't want to pop up and go over that.
Yep.
Trying to keep it as low as possible, which is why we've got that little bit of a slope, low slope on that other piece of the roof.
gotcha,
So a little bit of gymnastics to keep it as low as possible.
gotcha. Okay, okay. Now it makes sense. All right. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. And Bill,
Can you come back to me?
certainly. Josh?
I don't have any questions at this time, thanks.
Okay, great. Dave?
So I know the, by right, it's 30% is the existing home. That's something like about 80-something% expansion.
Yeah, I get to do the math, but yeah, it's more than 30% for sure. I think there are other houses in the neighborhood that are around the 2,000 or so square foot, 1800, 1700, 2000 have been more recent additions.
I see 23 is at 2,038 of living area.
That's correct.
But then they range from 1,000 to 1,800.
Those are the immediate ones, yes.
They're under things to consider. They're talking about stormwater.
Yes,
Can you talk a little
so
about that?
thankfully, the town has been very helpful with us working through the stormwater process. I'm not a civil engineer and I don't pretend to be one. But the information that they provided helped us do some evaluation on making sure the calculations were correct for the new roof area, driveway, avoiding runoff to the neighboring properties. I think as part of the building permit process, we would definitely finalize that. We want to do a perk test to make sure a foundation drain should be tied into the dry well if necessary. It's not required because we don't have a basement below, but we do want to do a perk to make sure we're not increasing that stormwater runoff anyway.
Is on septic there or
There was.
what's?
Yeah, a year after my father put the second one in, they put sewage in the front, so we had to fill it with sand.
Nice.
Yes, it's city water, city sewer.
Okay. Yeah, no other questions. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, Lisa?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Rob?
No, I have no questions at this time.
Okay, my question is just looking, I'm glad we are still at this picture. So essentially that the right side where the roof is that overbuild, that's the addition.
Correct. That's
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, so this is the existing house ends here. Our
Okay.
addition starts here, so a little bit of connected with tie in and then do an overbuild, shed water. And then our new addition.
okay. Okay. And, I'm gonna ask Bruce, can you get a street view?
Yeah,
Or
no
an
problem.
overview? Just, I'm curious to get the context.
Of course.
Of the neighborhood. And, this is, might be a question for you, Bruce, or for our homeowner. Are there specific regulations regarding, or I live in a historic district, so I have those kind of parameters that does Oakland Gardens have any specific things that kind of?
Well, going through the school, I was told that Oakland Gardens and Lake Garter were the pottery sections of Farmington. So we've gone through in the 80s, 90s, most of the value of land in court, brought in better houses and everything else in the neighborhood. I mean, the house on right next door is 608,000. That's unheard of in Oakland Gardens. And there's two houses on Beach Street, which is down the hill, that are larger and nicer. So, I mean, it's been a big change in the last, I mean, I'm 71. There's been a lot of changes.
And I think the way that the zoning regulations are written is really to keep the feel and the scale, the smaller scale.
Okay.
And that's why we tried to keep the addition within that, you know, similar thing. So that the addition wasn't overshadowing the house, but it's keeping that kind of 1950s lower scale residential quality.
Okay. Okay, now that's helpful to see. Okay.
Does this help a little bit?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Okay, especially in regards to the neighbor. And the house to the left is that 23?
That's 23. yeah.
Okay.
It's the land I used
That-
to own.
Okay, okay, I understand. Okay, and so. Okay. Okay, I think that was my question. Thank you. Am I coming back? Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, Phil. I didn't mean to gesture.
Quick question of Bruce. What is the largest that you can put on an R9 for a living area?
The one that just had it, we had it in here. I'm not sure it's now that, but right in here. So, yeah, just give me a second. I want to say it's. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong.
1,600.
Existing articles.
Proposed expansion exceeds greater than 30% exceeds.
Proposed expansion,
1,600.
existing home addition.
Is that the extra 30% now?
Because I'm pretty sure I looked at that originally.
Oh, yeah.
Before
In
discovering.
excess of 1,600 square feet. So it's 1,600 square feet of living area. So if you go to the regulation, you do this.
It's 30% of 1,600 would be 480, so it'd be 20.
But what is the largest you can have in an R9? Like if it were a new build,
Yeah, give me 1 second.
not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I've got it right here. Just give me.
Clicking through those regs.
Yeah, we deal with them enough. I'm getting older, so some of these exact numbers I don't have at the top of my head, but R9, 1,600 square feet of living area and no more than 2,200 square feet of total area.
But the purpose we are here because their proposal is larger than,
30%. Exactly, because it's an existing home.
sorry, it's larger than 30%, but it's not larger than, sorry, what's the square footage?
We're looking to add 1280. Yeah, 1,200.
And the total would be what?
Well, here it
Yeah, the
says
numbers are a little off.
a little off. It says 1401, but right now is existing. I have, I think, 13.
All right, so I
So-
guess
So
I'm
we would
trying
be
to clarify
25.
like two things. Like I understand we're exceeding 30%, but are we also exceeding the R9 limit?
Like
Didn't
how,
think so.
what's the
Yeah.
max you can?
What's the biggest you can build on an
Exactly,
R9?
exactly. He's proposing a total living area of 2,500 square feet.
But is that the R9 gardens that you're looking
Yeah,
at?
it's the same one. Yep. So, and then they're allowed a maximum of 1,600. Okay,
So we're going 1,000 square feet over what's
Exactly
permitted in that zone.
yes. And if you look at the next sheet of the agenda review, there are homes in the area
Right.
with
That
all
seem
the,
to be, have
all
done
the
the
same,
same thing.
exactly, all the same size. They're allowed, the reg allows 30%. No matter what size you are, it allows 30% expansion by right. And then after that, it triggers special permit for anything above your 30%. That's all for an existing home, so. So
Real
just,
no maximum number that's.
Yeah.
we could-
Right, it's
We
just,
could have,
as long as you meet your setbacks and everything.
and as,
And
and
we
as
are
the commissioner was saying, I forgot who it was, but that was the whole point of it, was to keep the neighborhood character the same. So looking at these other homes, an analyzing that and saying, you know what, it does fit that neighborhood, so.
Okay, so there isn't necessarily a limit on the size of a house on a zone?
Correct.
Okay,
I
because
mean,
that's what I'm misunderstanding.
Okay.
Yeah, you are the limit. How's that sound?
Right.
You're the limit. You
Okay.
guys determine, does this fit into that neighborhood?
All right, so it's really lot size and setbacks and.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, if this was on 50 acres, you'd say, you know, and it's like 500 feet from the road, it's like, you don't even see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Do what you want.
Exactly. So.
All right, I just want to clarify that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
So, sorry,
Nope, this is asked.
I'm just looking at the plans here. Are you gonna have enough turning radius for that garage?
If you can, well, the picture's not up. I've done it 3 times. I kept setting the garage wall further in until I could easily make that.
Okay.
This is 18. Right here.
Yeah, you meant
Yeah,
Yeah, you're only 18 feet from 18 and a half feet from the corner of your lot.
from there, and then
Yeah.
add another.
Okay,
That's from that corner.
right.
Correct.
Right.
And I couldn't do it at 18 and a half.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So that's why that wall is set back.
Yeah, I was just,
Believe me, I tried it on.
yeah,
my
no, I
own.
was just wondering, I'm looking at it, I was just.
And I'm not the one I'm worried about. My wife. As long as she can make it.
Don't say that.
You're
here.
on TV.
Watch out. You're on record.
You're on record.
I forgot to turn off mute. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering, that's all. So that, basically that front picture that Bruce had up for the street view, where all the mailboxes are, that's basically about where your pin is? Where the
Yes.
post is?
Yes.
It's about 5 feet to the right of the mailboxes.
Okay.
About eight feet
Oh,
deep.
all right, okay. Yeah, it's okay.
The pin is right where that is.
Yeah.
That's the mailbox.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a visual. Okay. That's all.
Okay, any other questions from commissioners? Okay. Oh,
Yeah. Have you talked to your neighbors about this?
Well, they got the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, have you have you gotten any kind of, I don't know,
Well,
I've not seen any
again,
letters.
some neighbors have been there a long time. So they know me, they know my family. There's a couple of new people. I don't personally know them yet. The ones behind us on the other road, I have usually don't even see them. I maybe wave. But, I've never had anybody say, "Oh my God." So.
okay. Then if commissioners, we'll come back if anything else comes up. If there's anyone in the room who has questions, who would comments, now's the time. It is a public hearing. Don't all rush the desk. Okay, so Bruce, anybody online?
Let me double check.
We always have to
One down.
ask.
Oh, we do have a raised hand.
There we go.
We have an Adrian. Go ahead and state your name and the address. There you go.
Yes, my name is Adrian McElveen. My wife and I own 17 Oakland Avenue. And I would like to speak in favor of the application. 3 houses away from me. And my only concern would be, as with that McMansion that was mentioned, that if there's any blasting that comes up or any rock mitigation that has to be done, that I'd be notified in advance. And other than that, that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Adrian, for your comments.
You're welcome.
Is anyone else wish to speak for or against this application? Just raise your hand using the Zoom function. I don't see any others, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, commissioners, last chance. Anything else? Yes.
Getting back to that blasting question, did you do like a bore to see if you're gonna have to blast it all?
I've dug that land by hand.
Okay.
There's No,
Okay.
there's not even New England potatoes.
Okay,
in there.
all right.
There is a septic tank. That's all.
Okay.
That'll come out with the excavator. They'll just.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Is there,
That's fine.
sorry, is there currently, are you still on septic?
Oh, I haven't been since the.
Okay.
90s. It's filled with sand.
You're saying like a week, like a year after they put in sewers, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, well, I think all our questions have been asked. Then I will close the public hearing. Okay, so commissioners. We need to come, yes, you can sit down. So what are we thinking? Do we have ideas, thoughts, issues, comments? Anything? No?
I'll just say, I think, if the goal is that, to provide, to allow these expansions, but to do so in a thoughtful way that fits the character of the neighborhood, seems like a model example of that.
Mhm. I agree, yes. Okay.
It's big, but he did a good job
It
maintaining.
was very
Yeah.
in character, very in character, which is so thoughtful, I have to say. Okay, then can I get a motion and a second?
There are some conditions of, have we discussed those?
Oh.
There's the conditions, we had items
Oh.
A through E.
Oh, yes, yes, we forgot about those. Okay. So we talked about, so stormwater, confirm if the infiltrator is only stone, consider providing a dry well or chambered system to accommodate maintenance and provide details for the infiltration area. Okay, i.e. fabric stone and an access cover. Okay.
The applicant was shared these conditions, and they've agreed.
They have
to
agreed?
those.
Okay.
So if you just want to lump those A through E,
So,
if you agree with them, then A through E into the motion, it'd be fine.
okay, sounds wonderful.
And was the footing drain confirmed?
Yeah, was confirm if footing drain is proposed and was that also?
Yep, that
Discuss-
was,
all
and these
of
are all,
those
and these are all very simple items that we would normally pick up during a building permit review, and as they stated during the hearing, we have no problem addressing these conditions as part of the building permit.
Okay, wonderful.
So if we're gonna include those, then I'm just gonna say as present, I will use as presented again.
Yeah, exactly, and then you could just say conditions A through E of the agenda review, if you want.
Just one quick one, because I'm just seeing it here, and it's probably a question for Bruce. Bruce, if one of these doesn't seem to work, can we work with him to make sure, like, so what I'm looking at right now, and you'll understand where I'm coming from, condition D, add stone strip along edge to dissipate runoff.
Yes.
During heavy rains, and I know it from experience because we were dealing with it with a client, it was just washing the stone away to the point where there was no sense in keeping the stone there anymore. Because it was just actually more of a headache and an inconvenience than just planting grass right up to it, unless you decide 2.5-inch boulders along. So if it ends up being a nuisance and it doesn't work the way we think, he's not going to be stuck to that.
He could change it. Yeah, he could change it. And again, that's all. I had actually made that comment early on because it's all based on the drainage area.
Right.
So it's not that large of a drainage area. So if you use a 1/2-inch stone, yeah, it's going to wash away. But if
Exactly.
you use a 3/4 inch and a quarter
Maybe
stone,
not.
it should do enough. It's just enough to try to, because the houses are so close, I wanted to just funnel that water and try to disperse it as quick as possible.
Yeah, and I follow your logic
Yeah.
behind it, but like.
Oh, I hear you.
Sometimes it
Some
doesn't-
people do them in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's like, that was a waste of money.
Exactly.
Get you.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
So we're gonna say A through E, but
No, we'll leave it as is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruce is good with it. We'll leave it.
very good. All right, you ready for that?
I'm ready. Lance is ready.
All right, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the application for special permit and site plan approval made by Robert Carley and Staubach Architects for approval for expanded home in excess of 30% expansion and in excess of 1,600 square feet living area for addition at 27 Oakland Avenue in an R9 OG zone, and following the conditions A through E as presented.
Okay. Do I have a
Second.
second? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? The motion carries. Good luck. Okay, now it's your turn, Bruce.
Yeah. good. No, let me- Oh, good. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, Bruce, you're up. It's planners report
Alright,
time.
Planners reports. Sign regulations. We do have a complete set of sign regulations that we have ripped apart, edited, commented back and forth amongst us in the town hall. Shannon just has to get the last look at it and go through it, tweak it. So we'll probably have something definitely for the next meeting. All right.
Okay,
So
great.
those were all put in there, and I think
Coming
think
soon.
she had incorporated most of your initial comments. I'm assuming once you read them, you'll probably want to tweak a little things or something else will come to mind, and we could add that in there. All right.
Okay.
The POCD, we did open up all of the bids. We have tallied them up. We put together some packets, so those will be handed out soon. And we did have, I don't think there was any more. At last count, I had Commissioner Sanford, Commissioner St. Germain, Commissioner Fagan, and Commissioner Cordero was the sub committee. So those packets will go out.
Okay.
Get some, you could add that to your light reading list on the weekends. 'cause,
Ah, yes, those are not insomnia nights.
they're very interesting. No, but so you'll go through those, then we'll set up meetings from there. To get together, and then we'll have interviews, and then
Okay,
get that down to a selection at that point.
okay.
All right.
Bruce, is that, like you say, 8 submissions, is that a lot? Like what's like average?
I'll be honest with you. I wasn't dealt with the first plan of conservation development, but I think 8's a decent shot. It's becoming more of a what's the word I'm looking for? A niche that it's not a lot. I mean, a lot of people could do it, but are a lot of people really fluent in it and can do a great job? I think that list gets smaller and smaller.
Well, and I'm actually like, I'm surprised there's actually 8.
Yeah.
That's what I was like,
It's
wow.
nice to get 8.
Correct.
actually,
Yeah.
To have a choice, not 3 and.
Correct. That's what I was expecting. Yeah.
And way better than one.
Yeah, yes, way better than 1. That's for sure.
All right. And
That's true. There is a point.
Okay.
That is a very good point.
here. And then this is an item we have for a building permit. So we wanted to just run this by the commission. Sometimes I don't talk too close, talk close enough to this. If people are familiar with the Goddard School, so you've got Route 4 here, Brickyard is here, and Bridgewater is here. Okay. In the back, there was a Goddard School nursery school approved. All right. It's all on the same property. So the owner of this property built this, had leased this out and built a maintenance building with a small office, building, our office space above it. And since then, the school had grown, so they needed room for an indoor gym. So they took 1 or 2 of the bays of the garage area here, and they had made that, let me zoom in a little better, and they had actually made that a inside gym. Well, applicant now wants to, is saying times are changing. They're going to see an influx of students for this next school year, and they want to change the gym out to a classroom. They're based on the comments that we received. Most of the students would be either teachers, children, or second or third siblings of an existing family. So based on that, that's why they're saying that the traffic, you would not see a very much change in the traffic because it's already traffic that's going to the school and through the school. And when you look at the write-up that we did on this, they're over parked as it is. Okay. Because when this was originally approved, there was an addition proposed on the corner of the office building here. So that was not built, but all of the spaces were built. All of the physical site improvement that were approved as part of that were actually constructed. So what we're looking for here tonight is just either a confirm that you don't have any issues with us signing off on that building permit on converting that gym space to a classroom, knowing that they're gonna have to meet all the building codes, any architectural codes, all of that stuff. And that it doesn't need an actual application to come back in. So that's for the commission to discuss and decide. Or
Did I read somewhere that they're thinking this is kind of a short demographic?
it is a temporary, they're
Like
saying
one
it's
of the two-
temporary,
1 year?
and for this 1 year is what they're saying. So, I mean, we can make a stipulation, and if it's gonna be anything longer than a year, come back to us, because if something changes, just so we get another chance to understand and review what they're doing. So,
Well, having been involved in schools, there are the weird demographic bubbles
Mhm.
that all of a sudden there are, 16 extra kids, and where are you going to put them? It does come along. What does everyone think? It makes.
Are there bathrooms and everything in there?
there is, let me grab this floor plate
Because there
for you.
must be.
There is, and they said they were
Right,
swapping
there's a
out
gym.
for kid-sized toilets and.
Yeah, preschool toilets are not a standard size. I mean, they're very
Indoor playground
Toilet
area
is
here.
Singular, sorry, but I don't want to overstate.
Yeah, because I think they're looking at 10 students, so that's not. Yeah, probably.
There's a good plan right here.
Imagine.
That's it. That's all I have. And there's a
It's
little,
funny, they're going through all this for 10
and
students
there's a little bathroom over here,
for 1 year.
right in here.
Okay,
Wow.
Well, it's
So
already,
there is a small
well, it's
bathroom.
already finished space that they're using.
true.
So what was that?
We were just saying a lot of, a fairly in-depth project for a 1 year type thing, but I guess.
It's not a very, I don't think it's a very detailed construction plan. It looks very,
Okay.
I mean, because like I said, I think it was finished as part of the gym. So
Okay.
it's more of a minor interior renovation.
Right, I think you're right. It's
Couple
gonna
desks
pull up the
and
gym
chairs.
floor or the mats.
Tables,
and-
chairs, and
Yeah.
and put in
bins of
tables
toys, I
and
guess.
chairs and
Chalkboard up
you can
there.
do a lot with temporary furniture, or
Like I said,
shelves is-
we have no problem, I have no problem saying, hey, look,
I-
this is gonna be for a,
Anybody have any
1 year.
issues with that?
No.
The only question I have is like, I just think about this and just again, like, we have a business that is expanding their space. Now, I guess it was already expanded to be a gym, but the gym was in a garage. And now we're putting a preschool in a garage. I know nothing about what would be required for a preschool, like, or what's in our scope even, or with zoning, like, but just to make sure that it's properly, like, does it need, like, I thought I read something about sprinkler systems. Did that have to be added? Central commercial fire alarm, does that already exist? Like, I don't know.
exactly, that's all, and that's what I was
Okay.
getting at. It still needs to go through fire and building for all of their review and approval. So whatever requirements they have on top of that, that'll just be incorporated into that permit
There's a
approval.
licensing thing too for
Right.
schools, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And if they're accredited, they're stock up.
Bruce,
certain-
those other two bays, what's in those?
As
That's
far as
still
I
their-
know, it's still being used as storage. They
So
use it
maintenance
for,
storage?
what's that?
Maintenance storage?
Yes, I do have the owner's rep online. If you do have questions for him, but like I said, I recall that it was used for storage for trucks, equipment from their maintenance building or for their maintenance properties.
All right, because the only thing now that Josh brings something up like that is ventilation. If there's fuels and all that other stuff in there.
I agree. And that's where you get into when the building and the fire
Yeah.
do their reviews, when you have, when you mix different classes together.
Right.
That's when your separation walls come into effect. That's when your fire system, fire suppression comes into play. as part of that, they have regs that they have to meet to get that. So
Okay.
I understand with you guys and we're the same way. I mean, we have to leave this up to the experts at this point. So as, you know, as long as they meet the building code, everything that we're talking about, they meet their building code and everything like that. And it was occupied for kids for gym, you know, with the gym. So I'm assuming they're probably, whatever was done as part of that may not be as much of a change. I can't, you know, don't go quote me. I'm not a building official, but I'm thinking it's probably not as major as we think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure as long as they have a bathroom facility
Right.
that is appropriately sized and just all that, yeah.
And I think of-
Egress, you know, doors, that sort of stuff, that I think, yeah.
And as we said, I think it's more of it's the question is we're going from from an approved expansion. We're just changing the use a little bit from a gym to a classroom type setting. And like I said, the parking is adequate at this point, and I have no problem doing it on a, you know, on a yearly basis, or do it for a year, see how it works out, and see if they come back to us and they want to make this a full-time thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think of these schools that they have a gym that's a cafeteria during an hour and then they change it back to a gym.
West District School.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was my elementary school. That's
All
how
of
old
them.
we are.
Gym and cafetoriums, that's what West is. It's a gym and cafetorium.
Bruce, are there any specific
I had it.
sections of zoning that speak to daycare centers specifically? Like, are there specific anything? I'm
They're
looking through.
nationally accredited as well, the Goddard School. I mean,
But you're asking for the questions of
Zoning.
if we have anything.
Like, because like there's certain sections like for certain uses and stuff. And
Nope, it's just a use. It's just an allowed use.
It's just an allowed use,
It's
either
allowed-
by
it's a
right or
special permit.
special permit, which they already have the special permit. It was already approved for the expansion.
Yep, exactly. So.
Okay. Everyone okay with
Yeah.
moving that along? Okay. All set. You're not sneaking anything else in on us, Bruce? Sometimes Shannon likes to.
Does she? No, I'm good. I'm not gonna stretch it that much.
Okay, then the last thing on the agenda is we need to approve the minutes of the April 27th, 2026 meeting. Do I have a motion and a
So
second?
moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And abstentions? Okay. Motion carries. They are approved. Thank you very much for attending the meeting this evening. Good night.